Did you know that Rick and Morty started as a parody of Back to the Future? This seemingly random fact is just the beginning of a journey through the show's evolution. From its humble origins to becoming a cultural phenomenon, Rick and Morty has transformed in ways you might not expect. Prepare for a deep dive into the show's history, character developments, and hidden gems that will keep you engaged while gently lulling you to sleep. Let's turn our attention to the iconic duo that inspired Rick and Morty, Doc Brown and Marty McFly from Back to the Future. These time-traveling adventurers laid the groundwork for the interdimensional pair we've come to know and love. Doc Brown, the eccentric scientist with wild white hair and a penchant for shouting "Great Scott," served as the initial template for Rick Sanchez. Both characters share a genius-level intellect and a disregard for societal norms. Doc's enthusiasm for scientific discovery and his ability to create mind-bending inventions are traits that Rick inherited, albeit with a much darker twist. Marty McFly, the everyman teenager thrust into extraordinary circumstances, provided the blueprint for Morty Smith. Both characters start as relatively normal kids who find themselves caught up in the wild schemes of their older counterparts. They serve as the audience surrogate, reacting to the bizarre situations with a mix of awe and trepidation. The initial concept for Rick and Morty drew heavily from the dynamic between Doc and Marty. The relationship between a brilliant but unstable older man and his younger, more grounded companion was a central element in both stories. This pairing allowed for a contrast between unbridled scientific ambition and relatable human concerns. Rick's catchphrases and speech patterns originally echoed Doc Brown's mannerisms quite closely. The frequent use of Morty at the end of sentences mirrored Doc's habit of addressing Marty by name. Rick's burping and slurred speech can be seen as an exaggerated version of Doc's excited, rapid-fire dialogue. However, as Rick and Morty evolved, the characters began to diverge significantly from their inspirations. Rick's character took on a much darker edge than Doc Brown ever had. While Doc was eccentric and occasionally reckless, Rick is often portrayed as deeply cynical, self-destructive, and morally ambiguous. Rick's genius is frequently used for selfish or nihilistic purposes, a far cry from Doc's more altruistic pursuits. Morty, too, developed in ways that set him apart from Marty McFly. While Marty remained relatively unchanged throughout the Back to the Future trilogy, Morty has undergone significant character growth. He's become more assertive, developed his own moral compass, and even challenged Rick's authority at times. Morty's experiences across dimensions have shaped him into a more complex character than his inspiration. The show's creators, Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon, made deliberate choices to set Rick and Morty apart from their predecessors. One key difference is the scale of their adventures. While Doc and Marty primarily dealt with time travel and its consequences, Rick and Morty explore an infinite multiverse. This expansion of scope allows for a much wider range of stories and concepts to be explored. Another significant departure is the tone of the series. Back to the Future, while certainly having its moments of peril, maintained a generally optimistic and family-friendly atmosphere. Rick and Morty, on the other hand, embraces dark humor, existential themes, and often disturbing imagery. This tonal shift allows the show to tackle more mature concepts and push the boundaries of animated storytelling. The family dynamics in Rick and Morty also set it apart from its inspiration. While Doc and Marty's relationship existed largely outside of their family contexts, Rick and Morty's adventures frequently involved the entire Smith family. This allows for exploration of complex family relationships and generational conflicts that weren't present in Back to the Future. Perhaps the most significant difference between the two pairs is their ultimate purpose. Doc and Marty's adventures often centered around preserving the timeline and ensuring a happy future. Rick and Morty, however, frequently grapple with the meaninglessness of existence in an infinite universe. This philosophical underpinning gives Rick and Morty a depth and complexity that sets it apart from its more straightforward predecessor. At first glance, Season 1 of Rick and Morty appears to be a series of disconnected, zany adventures. But what if every episode was secretly setting up the entire series? As we explore the first season, we'll uncover the surprising connections that bridge seemingly standalone episodes to the vast multiverse we now know. The episodic nature of Season 1 initially presents a simple structure, with each adventure seemingly self-contained. However, beneath this surface lies a carefully crafted foundation for the complex narrative arcs that would unfold in later seasons. The show's creators deliberately planted seeds throughout these early episodes, ensuring that even the most random-seeming adventures would have lasting significance. Let's start with the pilot episode, which introduces key sci-fi concepts that become central to the series' overarching narrative. The multiverse and Rick's portal gun make their debut, immediately establishing the show's potential for endless possibilities. This episode sets the tone for the chaotic adventures that follow, while also introducing Rick as a genius inventor who often disregards the consequences of his actions. As we progress through the season, we encounter Rick Potion Number 9, an episode that explores the consequences of Rick's reckless experimentation. The creation of Cronenberg-like monsters serves as more than just a horror comedy element. It introduces the concept of alternate realities. This pivotal episode hints at the show's future exploration of the multiverse, setting the stage for the complex interdimensional narratives that would become a hallmark of the series. The introduction of the Council of Ricks in close Rick counters of the Rick kind marks a significant expansion of the show's universe. By presenting multiple Ricks across different dimensions, this episode lays the groundwork for future explorations of identity and morality. The concept of infinite Ricks becomes crucial in later seasons, allowing the show to delve into complex philosophical questions about the nature of self and the consequences of our choices. Rick's D-Minutes brings us Interdimensional Cable, a narrative device that showcases the show's creative potential and willingness to experiment with format. While on the surface it appears to be a vehicle for random comedic sketches, this episode serves a deeper purpose. It acts as a commentary on television and media consumption, while also demonstrating the infinite possibilities of the multiverse concept introduced earlier in the season, but which Season 1 episode secretly set up major future plot points. The answer lies in Something Rick This Way Comes. This episode introduces the Citadel, foreshadowing the complex political structures and power dynamics that will be explored in later seasons. The existence of a larger multiverse and the implications of Rick's actions on a grander scale are hinted at here, setting the stage for some of the most intricate storylines in the series' future. The intentional world building in these early episodes created a rich tapestry of interconnected stories. The show's writers aim to plant seeds for future plot developments, ensuring that even seemingly random adventures would have lasting significance. This approach has led to numerous fan theories suggesting that clues in Season 1 episodes accurately predicted major storylines in later seasons. For example, the recurring themes of family dynamics and the consequences of Rick's actions are seen as foundational elements that resonate throughout the series. These themes, introduced subtly in Season 1, become central to the show's exploration of character growth and moral complexity in subsequent seasons. As we look back on Season 1, we can see how it skillfully balances standalone adventures with careful world building. Each episode, while entertaining in its own right, contributes to the larger narrative tapestry of the series. The seemingly simple structure of these early episodes belies the complex foundations being laid for future storylines. Amidst the carefully crafted narrative threads of Rick and Morty, one character stood out by breaking all the rules. Mr. Poopy Butthole's unexpected rise from background oddity to fan-favorite fixture raises a perplexing question. In a multiverse of infinite possibilities, how does the most improbable character become the most relatable? The journey of Mr. Poopy Butthole begins in the episode Total Rickle, where he appears as a peculiar side character in a storyline involving memory parasites. His quirky design and humorous demeanor immediately caught the attention of viewers, but few could have predicted the impact this yellow, ooh-weeing oddball would have on the series as a whole. As Mr. Poopy Butthole continued to pop up in subsequent episodes, his purpose within the show evolved. Initially serving as a source of comic relief, he gradually became a character through which the creators could offer commentary on the show's structure and the absurdity of its multiverse. This dual function allowed Mr. Poopy Butthole to transcend his initial role and become an integral part of the Rick and Morty experience. One of the most intriguing aspects of Mr. Poopy Butthole's character is his ability to break the fourth wall. His scenes often involve direct addresses to the audience or comments on the show's narrative and fan expectations. This unique perspective adds a layer of meta-commentary that resonates deeply with viewers, making him a beloved character despite his initially minor role. By acknowledging the audience and the constructed nature of the show, Mr. Poopy Butthole creates a sense of intimacy and shared experience with fans. The ambiguity surrounding Mr. Poopy Butthole's true nature has been a source of endless speculation among fans. His sudden appearance and integration into the Smith family's memories in Total Recall left viewers questioning his origins and significance within the show's universe. This mystery has only fueled his popularity, as audiences enjoy theorizing about his backstory and potential hidden importance. The creators have cleverly maintained this air of uncertainty, allowing Mr. Poopy Butthole to remain an enigmatic figure that continually surprises and intrigues. Perhaps one of the most unexpected developments in Mr. Poopy Butthole's character arc has been his impact on the emotional core of the show. His recovery storyline, particularly in episodes where he confronts his own vulnerabilities, has had a significant influence on Beth's character development. This interplay between a seemingly absurd character and one of the show's main protagonists showcases how Rick and Morty can use even its most outlandish elements to contribute to deeper emotional narratives. The character of Mr. Poopy Butthole serves as a subversion of typical Rick and Morty storytelling. In a show often characterized by its cynicism and dark humor, Mr. Poopy Butthole embodies a unique blend of humor and pathos. His presence illustrates that even in a universe as chaotic and seemingly meaningless as the one portrayed in Rick and Morty, there is room for genuine emotional connection and growth. This juxtaposition of the absurd with the heartfelt has become a hallmark of the character's appeal. Dan Harmon, one of the show's creators, has acknowledged Mr. Poopy Butthole's unexpected popularity. He noted that the character's charm lies in his ability to balance the show's darker themes with moments of lightheartedness, thus enhancing the overall narrative experience. This deliberate contrast allows Mr. Poopy Butthole to serve as a sort of pressure valve, releasing tension in the midst of the show's more intense or philosophical moments. As Mr. Poopy Butthole continued to appear throughout the series, he began to function as a meta-commentary on the show itself. His reactions to plot developments and his occasional predictions about future episodes have turned him into a stand-in for the audience. This role has allowed the creators to playfully engage with fan expectations and the show's own storytelling conventions, adding another layer of depth to the Rick and Morty viewing experience. What makes Mr. Poopy Butthole so endearing to fans is his unique combination of absurdity and sincerity. In a show filled with cynical characters and nihilistic themes, Mr. Poopy Butthole stands out as a beacon of earnestness. His catchphrases and mannerisms are undeniably silly, yet his emotional moments feel genuine and impactful. This duality allows viewers to laugh at his antics while also connecting with his more vulnerable side, creating a character that is both entertaining and surprisingly relatable. Just when fans thought they had seen the limits of the show's creativity, Rick and Morty served up its most outlandish concept yet. The premise was simple. Rick, the genius scientist, had turned himself into a pickle. This seemingly ridiculous idea would become a pivotal moment in the series, pushing the boundaries of storytelling and character development. The episode Pickle Rick initially caught viewers off guard with its absurd premise. The sight of Rick as a briny vegetable, unable to move or speak, was undeniably comical. However, as the story unfolded, it became clear that this wasn't just another zany adventure. The writers had crafted a narrative that seamlessly blended over-the-top humor with profound emotional themes. At its core, Pickle Rick explored the complex dynamics of the Smith family and Rick's perpetual avoidance of emotional connection. The juxtaposition of Rick's pickle predicament with the family's scheduled therapy session created a perfect storm of comedy and drama. As Rick embarked on a violent, action-packed journey to regain his human form, The rest of the family grappled with their own issues in Dr. Wong's office. The episode's ability to balance these contrasting elements was praised by critics and fans alike. The writers had managed to create a scenario that was simultaneously ridiculous and deeply relatable. As one of the episode's writers explained, we wanted to create a scenario that was both ridiculous and deeply relatable, allowing Rick's transformation to serve as a metaphor for his emotional struggles. This metaphor became particularly poignant during the therapy session with Dr. Wong. While Rick was absent physically, his presence loomed large in the family's discussions. Dr. Wong's insightful observations about Rick's behavior and its impact on the family added a layer of depth to the character that had previously been unexplored. Her analysis of Rick's tendency to turn himself into a pickle rather than attend therapy highlighted his deep-seated fear of vulnerability and emotional connection. The therapy scene served as a crucial turning point, not just for the episode but for the series as a whole. It showcased the show's ability to tackle complex themes while maintaining its signature humor. Dr. Wong's calm demeanor and pointed observations provided a stark contrast to Rick's chaotic escapades, forcing both the characters and the audience to confront uncomfortable truths. As the episode progressed, it became clear that Pickle Rick was more than just a clever concept. It represented a shift in the show's narrative style, moving from purely cynical comedy to a more nuanced approach that occasionally embraced heartfelt storytelling. This evolution didn't abandon the show's irreverent humor, but rather used it as a vehicle to explore deeper emotional territory. The episode's critical reception played a significant role in cementing its status as a turning point for Rick and Morty. Reviewers praised the unique storytelling approach, noting how the absurdity of Rick's pickle transformation was skillfully used to explore serious themes of family dysfunction and emotional avoidance. One critic encapsulated this sentiment, stating, "It's a perfect blend of chaos and heart that makes you reflect on the characters' journeys." Pickle Rick demonstrated that Rick and Morty could tackle complex themes without sacrificing its comedic identity. The episode's success lay in its ability to use humor as a gateway to more profound character exploration. By the time Rick finally returned to human form and rejoined his family, viewers had gained new insights into his psyche and the underlying dynamics of the Smith household. The impact of Pickle Rick extended beyond a single episode. It marked a shift in the series' overall approach to storytelling, opening the door for more emotionally resonant narratives in future episodes. This evolution allowed the show to maintain its cynical edge while occasionally delving into more heartfelt territory, creating a richer and more complex viewing experience. Just as fans were getting used to occasional moments of heart, Rick and Morty delivered its most emotionally charged episode yet. How did a whirlwind romance between Morty and an environmental activist become one of television's most genuine portrayals of young love? A Rick Convenient More stands out as a turning point in the series, focusing on Morty's passionate relationship with Planetina, a character who embodies environmental activism. This episode challenges the show's typical cynical tone by presenting a romance that is both intense and authentic. The writers skillfully captured the essence of young love, portraying Morty and Planetina's connection with a rawness and sincerity rarely seen in animated series. The pacing of the episode mirrors the whirlwind nature of new romance, effectively conveying the excitement and intensity that comes with falling in love for the first time. This narrative choice allows viewers to experience the rapid, emotional development alongside Morty, creating a sense of immersion in his journey. The fast-paced storytelling serves to heighten the impact of the relationship's progression and ultimate conclusion. Planetina's character serves as a catalyst for Morty's growth, challenging his established worldview and pushing him to confront complex moral dilemmas. Her passionate commitment to environmental causes forces Morty to grapple with issues larger than himself, adding depth to his character and the overall narrative. This interaction between Morty's everyday teenage experiences and Planetina's activist zeal creates a compelling dynamic that drives the episode's emotional core. Beth's role in the episode adds another layer of complexity to the story. Her attempts to protect Morty from potential heartbreak showcase her growth as a character, demonstrating a nuanced understanding of her son's emotional state. Beth's reservations about the relationship stem from her maternal instincts and her own experiences, providing a counterpoint to the intensity of Morty's feelings. This interplay between mother and son adds depth to the family dynamics that have become a hallmark of the series. The episode doesn't shy away from exploring weightier themes alongside its romantic storyline. Through Planetina's character, it delves into issues of environmental activism and the potential for radicalization. This narrative choice prompts viewers to consider the moral implications of the character's actions and the fine line between passion and extremism. By intertwining these themes with Morty's personal journey, the episode creates a rich tapestry of ideas that resonate beyond the immediate plot. As the story unfolds, the emotional stakes continue to rise, culminating in a heart-wrenching climax. Morty is forced to confront the reality of his and Planetina's differences, leading to a painfully genuine moment where he feels compelled to end the relationship despite his deep feelings. This scene is notable for its boldness in portraying the complexities of love and the difficult decisions that come with it. The writer's choice to present this moment without undercutting it with humor allows the full emotional weight of the situation to land with the audience. The episode's conclusion, where Morty breaks Planetina's heart, resonates deeply with viewers. It highlights the painful reality of having to choose between love and personal beliefs, a universal experience that many can relate to. This moment encapsulates the emotional stakes of the episode, making it a standout in the series and demonstrating the show's capacity for nuanced storytelling. What sets a Rick Convenient Mort apart is its commitment to emotional authenticity. The absence of comedic elements in the final sequences allows the story to linger on the impact of Morty's choices, creating a space for genuine reflection. This approach marks a significant departure from the show's typical style, proving that Rick and Morty is capable of delivering powerful, emotionally resonant narratives alongside its trademark humor. While Morty's emotional journey captivated audiences, another character was quietly undergoing a transformation of his own. Jerry Smith, initially introduced as the bumbling patriarch of the Smith family, has evolved from a one-dimensional punchline into a complex character with unexpected depth. This shift in Jerry's portrayal has not only enriched the show's narrative, but also challenged viewers' perceptions of what it means to be a hero in the chaotic universe of Rick and Morty. At the outset of the series, Jerry's primary function was to serve as a foil for Rick's brilliance and a source of constant amusement for viewers. His incompetence in everyday situations and his struggles to assert himself within the family dynamic made him an easy target for ridicule. However, as the show progressed, the writers began to peel back the layers of Jerry's character, revealing a more nuanced individual beneath the surface of his perceived inadequacies. One of the pivotal moments in Jerry's character development came in the episode The ABCs of Beth. Here, Jerry confronts the possibility of being replaced by a clone, a scenario that brings his insecurities to the forefront. This episode serves as a turning point, showcasing Jerry's vulnerabilities and the impact of his relationship with Beth on his sense of self-worth. It's in these moments of genuine emotion that viewers began to see Jerry as more than just a laughingstock. The evolution of Jerry's relationship with Beth has been a crucial element in his character growth. Initially portrayed as the weak link in the family dynamic, recent episodes have shown Jerry stepping up and taking responsibility in ways that add new dimensions to their marriage. This shift has been well received by fans who appreciate the more balanced portrayal of their relationship, moving beyond the simple trope of the nagging wife and incompetent husband. Jerry's journey from comic relief to a character with genuine depth is perhaps most evident in the episode Rick and Morty vs. Genocider. Here, Jerry takes center stage, defending his family and confronting his insecurities head-on. This episode highlights how Jerry's character has been developed to be more than just a punchline, allowing viewers to see him as a more relatable and complex individual. It's a testament to the writer's commitment to expanding Jerry's role beyond mere comedic fodder. The show's creators have been intentional about this shift in Jerry's characterization. They've expressed a desire to create a character that resonates with audiences on a deeper level. As one of the writers stated, we wanted to show that even the most seemingly incompetent characters can have moments of bravery and depth, especially when faced with family challenges. This approach has allowed Jerry to become a more integral part of the family dynamic, rather than simply existing on the periphery of the main character's adventures. Jerry's growth is further exemplified in the episode Analyze Piss, where he takes initiative and becomes a hero in his own right. This episode has been praised for its portrayal of Jerry as a more assertive character, showcasing his ability to step up when the situation demands it. It's a far cry from the Jerry we were introduced to in the early seasons, and it demonstrates the show's commitment to allowing its characters to evolve over time. The contrast between Jerry's insecurities and Rick's unwavering confidence has always been a source of tension in the show. However, as Jerry's character has developed, this contrast has become more nuanced. Rather than simply highlighting Jerry's shortcomings, it now serves to underscore the different ways in which characters can be strong or vulnerable. Jerry's moments of growth often come when he embraces his weaknesses and finds strength in his authenticity, rather than trying to emulate Rick's brash confidence. Fans and critics alike have noted the satisfaction in watching Jerry's transformation. As one critic remarked, Jerry's journey from the butt of the joke to a character worth rooting for is one of the most satisfying transformations in the series. This shift has made Jerry more sympathetic, particularly in episodes where he faces real challenges and shows unexpected resilience. While Jerry's journey from comic relief to a character with depth surprised fans, Beth's storyline pushes the boundaries of identity and free will in the Rick and Morty universe. The concept of Beth's clone, introduced in the episode The ABCs of Beth, presents a fascinating philosophical quandary. What if you could choose between two versions of yourself, one bound by family responsibilities and another free to explore the cosmos? In this pivotal episode, Rick reveals that he has created a perfect clone of Beth, offering her the opportunity to escape her earthbound life and pursue her wildest dreams among the stars. This choice forces Beth to confront her deepest desires and fears, questioning whether her current life truly fulfills her or if she's been suppressing her adventurous spirit. The existence of two Beths, one who stays on Earth and one who ventures into space, has sparked intense debate among fans. Which Beth is the real one? Some theories suggest that the Beth who chose to remain with her family might be the original, while Space Beth represents an unleashed version of her personality. However, the show deliberately keeps this ambiguous, challenging viewers to consider whether such a distinction even matters. This uncertainty extends to Rick's relationship with both Beths. As the creator of the clone, Rick must grapple with the implications of his actions. Does he treat both Beths equally? Does he favor one over the other? These questions add layers of complexity to Rick's character, forcing him to confront his own capacity for love and his tendency to manipulate those closest to him. The clone storyline serves as a profound exploration of identity and personal choice. Both versions of Beth represent different aspects of her personality and desires, calling into question what truly makes someone real. Is it our memories, our choices, or something more intangible that defines us? The show suggests that perhaps both Beth are equally valid, each embodying a different path her life could have taken. This philosophical dilemma extends beyond Beth herself, impacting the entire family dynamic. Space. Beth's existence complicates relationships, as she represents the freedom and adventure that Earth Beth feels she has sacrificed for her family. This tension leads to introspection and conflict, as both Beths must confront their choices and identities in relation to each other and their loved ones. Episodes featuring both Beths highlight their differing perspectives and the ways their experiences have shaped them. Space, Beth often exhibits more confidence and assertiveness, having embraced a life of intergalactic adventure. Earth Beth, while sometimes envious, demonstrates strength in her commitment to her family and personal growth within the confines of her chosen life. These contrasts provide rich material for exploring themes of self-acceptance and the complexities of familial relationships. The creators of Rick and Morty have indicated that the clone storyline was designed to delve into these profound themes. As Beth navigates her feelings towards both her clone and her responsibilities as a mother, the show invites viewers to reflect on their own lives and the choices that define them. It raises questions about the roads not taken and whether the grass is truly greener on the other side. By introducing the concept of Beth's clone, Rick and Morty transcends its origins as a family sitcom with sci-fi elements, evolving into a deeper exploration of existential questions. The show challenges viewers to consider the nature of identity and the choices we make. Both Beths reflect the internal conflict many people face between personal ambition and familial duty, making the storyline resonate on a deeply human level. While Beth's clones explore the boundaries of identity within the family, another character emerges to challenge the very foundations of Rick's multiverse. What if a Morty became smart enough to outmaneuver every Rick? This chilling possibility takes form in the enigmatic figure known as Evil Morty, whose presence turns the show's power dynamics upside down. Evil Morty first appeared in the episode Close Rick Counters of the Rick Kind, instantly captivating audiences with his hidden agenda and behind-the-scenes manipulations. Unlike the more familiar, bumbling version of Morty that fans had come to know, this eye-patch-wearing variant exhibited a level of cunning and strategic thinking that set him apart from his counterparts. The contrast between Evil Morty and the show's protagonist, Morty, became even more pronounced in The Ricklantis Mix-Up. This episode showcased Evil Morty's political acumen as he ran for president of the Citadel, a feat that required not only intelligence, but also a deep understanding of the complex social structures within the Rick and Morty multiverse. His ability to navigate and ultimately control a system designed by and for Ricks demonstrated a level of competence that posed a significant threat to the established order. As Evil Morty's character developed, so did theories about his origins and motivations. The writers have indicated that he represents more than just a simple antagonist. He embodies the potential for Mortys to break free from their subservient roles to Ricks. This concept strikes at the heart of the series' central themes, challenging the notion that Mortys are destined to be sidekicks or pawns in Rick's grand schemes. Evil Morty's actions serve as a direct challenge to Rick's perceived omnipotence within the multiverse. By successfully executing plans that even Rick struggles to counteract, Evil Morty forces both characters and viewers to question the limits of Rick's abilities and control. This dynamic adds a layer of tension to the series, as it introduces an adversary who can match and potentially surpass Rick's intellect. The impact of Evil Morty's schemes extends beyond personal confrontations with Rick. His plans have far-reaching consequences that affect the very rules governing the show's multiverse. This is particularly evident in the Season 5 finale, Rick Mirai Jack, where Evil Morty's actions culminate in a game-changing event. Not only does he succeed in taking down Rick Prime, but he also manages to escape the Central Finite Curve, a construct that had previously limited the scope of the multiverse to realities where Rick was the smartest being. What makes Evil Morty a uniquely dangerous antagonist is his desire for autonomy from Rick's. Unlike other threats that Rick has faced, Evil Morty's ultimate goal appears to be dismantling the established hierarchy of Ricks and Mortys. He seeks to create a multiverse where Mortys are not defined by their relationships with Ricks, a concept that strikes at the core of the show's premise and challenges viewers to reconsider the nature of identity and free will within this fictional universe. The writers have crafted Evil Morty's arc to explore themes of autonomy and rebellion, making him a reflection of the struggles with identity and purpose that the main Morty experiences throughout the series. This parallel development adds depth to both characters, as viewers can see the potential outcomes of Morty's journey, for better or worse. Evil Morty's return in Season 6 further cements his status as a compelling antagonist. Episodes like Fear No Mort juxtapose Morty's fears of being replaceable in Rick's life against Evil Morty's quest for independence, highlighting the emotional stakes involved in their character arcs. This contrast serves to deepen the narrative and provide a more nuanced exploration of the Morty-Rick dynamic across the multiverse. The revelation in UNT Rickon that Evil Morty has been planning his actions for an extended period adds another layer to his character. It suggests that his rebellion is not merely a reaction to Rick's actions, but a calculated move to fundamentally change the dynamics of the multiverse. This long-term planning elevates evil Morty from a temporary threat to a force that has been shaping events from the shadows, potentially influencing storylines that viewers have witnessed throughout the series. As evil Morty's plans unfold, a question looms. What lies beyond Rick's realm of influence? The Central Finite Curve presents a mind-bending twist that not only reframes Rick's capabilities, but also opens up infinite possibilities for the series' future. This cosmic construct, carefully guarded by Rick, redefines the very nature of his genius and challenges everything we thought we knew about his dominance in the multiverse. The Central Finite Curve is a complex concept that fundamentally alters our understanding of Rick's power within the Rick and Morty universe. It's not just a boundary or a simple division, it's a carefully crafted separation of realities. This construct isolates universes where Rick is the smartest being from those where he isn't, effectively creating a multiverse that caters to Rick's supremacy. This revelation casts a new light on Rick's character and his perceived omnipotence. The man we've come to know as the smartest being in the universe has, in fact, been operating within a carefully curated set of realities. It's a startling truth that forces us to reevaluate every adventure, every boast, and every seemingly impossible feat Rick has accomplished. The implications of this revelation extend far beyond Rick himself. For Morty, and indeed all the versions of Morty across the multiverse, this truth reshapes their entire existence. They've been living in universes specifically designed to keep them subservient to Rick's intellect. This raises profound questions about free will, potential, and the true nature of their relationship with Rick. The Central Finite Curve also provides new context for Rick's God complex. His unshakable confidence and dismissive attitude towards others stem not just from his intelligence, but from the knowledge that he's engineered his entire reality to ensure his supremacy. It's a level of control that goes beyond mere genius, bordering on the tyrannical. Fan theories about what exists beyond the curve have exploded since this revelation. Some speculate about universes where other characters like Jerry or Beth are the smartest beings. Others imagine realities so alien and incomprehensible that they defy our understanding of intelligence altogether. These theories highlight the limitless narrative possibilities that the destruction of the Central Finite Curve opens up. The stakes for the entire series have shifted dramatically with this new understanding. The multiverse is no longer just a playground for Rick's adventures. It's a carefully controlled environment that he's created. The destruction of the Central Finite Curve in the Season 5 finale doesn't just change the rules of the game, it completely redefines what the game is. This shift opens up new avenues for storytelling and character development. Rick, for the first time, might have to confront beings that genuinely challenge his intellect. Morty and the other characters might discover potentials within themselves that were previously suppressed by the limitations of the curve. The very nature of their adventures could transform as they step into truly unknown territory. The philosophical implications of the Central Finite Curve are profound. It raises questions about the nature of intelligence, the ethics of manipulating reality on such a grand scale, and the consequences of limiting one's experiences to maintain a sense of superiority. These themes provide rich ground for the series to explore deeper, more complex narratives. The creators of Rick and Morty have indicated that the Central Finite Curve serves as more than just a plot device. It's a narrative tool that allows them to delve into themes of power, control, and the nature of intelligence within the multiverse. By introducing and then destroying this construct, they've opened up new possibilities for character growth and story development. Beyond the multiverse of Rick's lies a darker reflection. A nemesis so dangerous, he shattered Rick's world and set him on a path of interdimensional chaos. This enigmatic figure is none other than Rick Prime, the architect of our Rick's tragedy and the driving force behind his relentless pursuit across countless realities. Rick Prime emerges as the ultimate antagonist in the Rick and Morty saga, representing not just an external threat, but the very source of Rick's pain and motivation. This character serves as a mirror to our Rick, reflecting the darkest possibilities of his nature and the consequences of unchecked ambition. The revelation of Rick Prime's existence adds a new layer of complexity to Rick's character. It's not just about scientific curiosity or interdimensional adventures anymore. There's a deeply personal vendetta at the heart of Rick's journey. The loss of his family at the hands of Rick Prime recontextualizes Rick's behavior throughout the series, casting his cynicism and emotional detachment in a new light. Rick's relentless pursuit of revenge against Rick Prime has shaped him into the character we've come to know. His inability to cope with the trauma of losing his family has manifested in a cycle of vengeance and chaos. This obsession with finding and confronting Rick Prime has driven Rick to push the boundaries of science and morality, often at the expense of those closest to him. The contrast between Rick Prime and our Rick is stark and illuminating. While Rick Prime embodies a more ruthless and self-serving nature, our Rick is portrayed as a character grappling with the weight of his past and the consequences of his actions. This dichotomy raises intriguing questions about the nature of identity and the role of choice in shaping who we become. The hunt for Rick Prime serves as a narrative backbone for the series, creating tension that influences Rick's relationships, particularly with Morty. This dynamic is explored in depth as Rick's motivations and the impact of his past continuously shape their adventures and interactions. The looming presence of Rick Prime adds a layer of urgency and purpose to their escapades across the multiverse. Theories about Rick Prime's motivations abound, suggesting that he may represent a darker version of Rick's character, one that has fully embraced power and control at the cost of all else. This interpretation adds a philosophical dimension to the series, prompting viewers to question the nature of morality in a multiverse of infinite possibilities. Rick Prime's existence also sheds light on Rick's tendency to push people away and his fear of forming meaningful connections. The emotional scars left by Rick Prime's actions have shaped Rick's approach to relationships, making him wary of attachment and vulnerable to loss. This fear manifests in his often callous treatment of those around him, including his own family. The impact of Rick Prime on Rick's relationship with Morty is particularly profound. As Rick is forced to confront his past and the emotional wounds that have shaped him, it leads to pivotal moments in their bond. The shadow of Rick Prime looms over their adventures, adding weight to their interactions and emphasizing the importance of their connection amidst the chaos of the multiverse. Rick Prime's role in the series goes beyond that of a simple villain. He represents the road not taken, the version of Rick that fully embraced his darker impulses without restraint. This contrast serves to highlight the complexity of our Rick's character, showing that despite his flaws and often questionable actions, there's a core of humanity that sets him apart from his nemesis. The ongoing search for Rick Prime drives the narrative forward, creating a sense of purpose and direction in a series that often revels in chaos and absurdity. It provides a through line that connects disparate adventures and gives weight to Rick's actions across multiple dimensions. In a multiverse of infinite possibilities, one device stands out as the linchpin of Rick and Morty's adventures: the portal gun. This deceptively simple green contraption isn't just a prop, it's the very heart of the show's narrative engine. But what happens when the tool that grants ultimate freedom becomes a source of vulnerability? Rick's portal gun is more than just a means of transportation. It's a symbol of his genius, his rebellious nature, and his ability to escape any situation. With a quick aim and a pull of the trigger, Rick can instantly transport himself and others across dimensions, opening up limitless storytelling potential. This device has become so integral to the series that it's hard to imagine an episode without its iconic green glow. However, the portal gun's convenience comes at a cost. While it allows Rick and Morty to embark on wild interdimensional adventures, it also leads to chaotic situations and unintended consequences. The ease with which Rick can escape responsibility or difficult emotions using the portal gun has become a central theme in exploring his character flaws. It's a double-edged sword that both empowers and isolates him, allowing him to run from his problems while simultaneously creating new ones. The true significance of the portal gun becomes apparent when it's taken away. Season 6 of Rick and Morty introduced a game-changing twist. The portal technology became useless. This shift forced Rick and Morty to navigate challenges without their usual means of interdimensional travel, adding a layer of tension and creativity to the storytelling. Without the ability to simply portal away from danger, the characters had to confront their problems head-on, leading to new depths of character development and narrative complexity. Episodes that highlight the portal gun's limitations or absence often result in some of the most compelling storytelling in the series. When Rick can't rely on his signature invention, we see him at his most vulnerable and human. These moments force him to confront his fears and relationships in more meaningful ways, stripping away the cynical facade he usually hides behind. The introduction of other characters with access to portal technology has also dramatically changed the show's dynamics. As more individuals gain the ability to traverse dimensions at will, it creates new conflicts and alliances, further complicating the multiverse's landscape. This expansion of portal gun users raises questions about power, responsibility, and the potential consequences of unrestricted interdimensional travel. Perhaps the most significant development in recent seasons has been the shortage of portal fluid. This limitation has far-reaching implications for the plot, as it restricts Rick's ability to travel freely and forces him to confront the consequences of his actions in a more grounded manner. The scarcity of this crucial resource adds a new layer of tension to every adventure, as characters must weigh the cost of using the portal gun against the potential benefits. The portal gun's evolution from a convenient plot device to a source of genuine conflict showcases the maturation of Rick and Morty's storytelling. What began as a simple way to facilitate outlandish scenarios has become a complex narrative tool that explores themes of addiction, escapism, and the burdens of genius. The portal gun is no longer just a means to an end. It's a character in its own right, with its own arc and impact on the show's universe. As Rick's portal gun became less reliable, a surprising character stepped up to fill the adventure void. Summer Smith, once relegated to the background as Morty's seemingly ordinary sister, has transformed into an indispensable part of the interdimensional team. This evolution didn't happen overnight, but rather through a series of carefully crafted episodes and character moments that showcased Summer's growth in confidence and capability. In the early seasons of Rick and Morty, Summer often found herself sidelined, watching enviously as her brother embarked on wild adventures across the multiverse. Her initial role was that of a typical teenage character, more concerned with her social life and smartphone than the bizarre sci-fi escapades happening around her. However, the writers had bigger plans for Summer, recognizing the potential to develop her into a fully realized character with her own unique contributions to the family dynamic. The episode Total Recall marked a turning point for Summer's involvement in the show's central conflicts. Her unexpected appearance and role in navigating the family's parasitic memory invasion highlighted her importance and signaled a shift in her participation in interdimensional adventures. This episode served as a catalyst, propelling Summer from the sidelines into the heart of the action. As the series progressed, Summer's character development became more pronounced, reflecting the real-world experiences of many teenagers. She began to assert herself more forcefully within the family unit, navigating the complex relationships between her parents, brother, and grandfather. This growth wasn't limited to her personal life. Summer also started to showcase unique skills that proved invaluable during missions. The episode Rick Mirai Jack stands out as a prime example of Summer's evolution. In this installment, she takes on significantly more responsibility, demonstrating her worth on missions that were previously dominated by Rick and Morty. Her ability to think on her feet and contribute meaningful solutions to interdimensional problems solidified her position as a capable adventurer in her own right. One of the most intriguing aspects of Summer's character arc is the evolution of her relationship with Rick. Initially, Rick often dismissed Summer, viewing her as less useful or interesting than Morty. However, as Summer proved herself time and time again, Rick's attitude toward her shifted. He began to rely on her during their adventures, recognizing her unique strengths and perspective. This change in dynamic not only enriched Summer's character, but also added new layers to Rick's own development. The episode Night Family further cemented Summer's growth by showcasing her leadership qualities. Taking charge during the family's nocturnal escapades, Summer demonstrated that she was no longer content to be a passive participant in the family's adventures. Her ability to step up and lead when necessary highlighted how far she had come from her initial portrayal as a disinterested teenager. It's important to note that Summer's development isn't just about becoming a capable adventurer. The writers have emphasized her emotional maturity and growing understanding of her family's complexities. This nuanced approach to her character has resonated with fans, who have received Summer's evolution positively. Viewers appreciate the transition from a background character to a vital member of the Smith family, recognizing how her growth enhances the show's overall dynamic. Summer's journey from sidelined teen to capable adventurer reflects a broader trend in Rick and Morty's storytelling. As the show has matured, so too have its characters, allowing for more complex narratives and deeper emotional resonance. Summer's increased prominence has opened up new avenues for exploring family relationships, teenage experiences, and the impact of living in a chaotic multiverse. While exploring alternate realities often involves high-stakes adventures, sometimes the most intriguing glimpses into the multiverse come from simply changing the channel. Interdimensional cable episodes offer a unique window into the infinite possibilities of Rick and Morty's universe, showcasing the show's boundless creativity through a series of absurd sketches that push the boundaries of conventional storytelling. These special episodes break from the typical narrative structure, presenting a format where Rick, Morty, and their family members flip through channels on an interdimensional cable box. Each channel offers a brief glimpse into a different reality, often featuring bizarre commercials, outlandish TV shows, or surreal news broadcasts. This seemingly random assortment of content serves as a platform for the show's writers and voice actors to explore the furthest reaches of their comedic imagination. What sets interdimensional cable apart is its improvisational nature. Justin Roiland, one of the show's co-creators, emphasized the importance of spontaneity in these episodes. He revealed that many of the sketches stem from ideas that arise during recording sessions, allowing the actors to bring their own unique humor and creativity to the characters. This approach results in moments that are not only hilarious but also genuinely surprising, as even the creators themselves don't always know where a particular sketch might lead. The freedom afforded by this format allows for a level of experimentation that might not fit within the confines of a traditional episode. Voice actors can explore various comedic scenarios without the constraints of a cohesive narrative, leading to memorable and often surreal moments that have become iconic within the Rick and Morty fandom. These sketches frequently become the source of memes and references that circulate widely on social media, further cementing their place in pop culture. However, beneath the surface of this apparent randomness lies a deeper commentary on media consumption in the modern age. The act of rapidly flipping through channels mirrors the chaotic nature of contemporary media landscapes, where viewers are bombarded with a constant stream of content ranging from the utterly absurd to the unexpectedly profound. This reflection of our own viewing habits invites the audience to consider how we engage with and process the vast array of information available to us. The challenge in creating interdimensional cable episodes lies in striking a delicate balance between absurdity and resonance. The show's creators have discussed the difficulty of maintaining coherence while allowing for such unbridled creativity. They must navigate the fine line between pure randomness and moments that connect emotionally or thematically with the audience. This balancing act is embraced as an integral part of the show's identity, pushing the boundaries of what animation can achieve. Fan reception to interdimensional cable episodes has been overwhelmingly positive, with many viewers appreciating the creative freedom these installments provide. The sketches offer a playground for imagination, allowing fans to speculate about the infinite possibilities within the show's multiverse. This enthusiasm has led to a flourishing community of fan-created content, with viewers producing their own interpretations and spin-offs of the sketches. This participatory aspect of fandom further enhances the show's legacy, creating a shared creative space between the creators and their audience. The impact of interdimensional cable extends beyond mere entertainment value. These episodes serve as a reminder of the show's central premise, that in an infinite multiverse, anything is possible. By presenting snippets of realities that range from the mundane to the utterly bizarre, they reinforce the idea that our understanding of normal is entirely subjective. This concept challenges viewers to reconsider their perspectives and embrace the endless possibilities that exist beyond their own limited experiences. Moreover, these episodes often contain seeds of ideas that later blossom into more significant plot points or character developments in the main storyline. What might seem like a throwaway gag in an interdimensional cable sketch could later be expanded into a full episode or even a recurring element of the show's mythology. This interconnectedness adds depth to the viewing experience, rewarding attentive fans who pick up on these subtle connections. From fleeting glimpses of alternate universes, we now turn to a society that embodies the multiverse itself. The Citadel of Rick stands as a testament to the complexities of identity and the consequences of Rick's actions across infinite realities. This multiversal hub serves as both a mirror and a foil to Rick's character, raising questions about what it means to be an individual in a reality where you're just one of infinite versions of yourself. The Citadel is a central hub where Ricks and Mortys from various dimensions attempt to coexist, creating a society that's as fascinating as it is dysfunctional. Imagine a world where every citizen is either Rick or Morty. The implications of such a society are both intriguing and unsettling. How does a civilization function when it's populated entirely by egomaniacs and their sidekicks? In the episode The Ricklantis Mix-Up, we get an in-depth look at the inner workings of this peculiar society. The Citadel is depicted as a bureaucratic nightmare where Ricks form a government, highlighting the contradictions inherent in their collective ego. It's a place where the smartest man in the universe tries to outsmart himself, leading to a paradoxical power struggle. The Citadel's structure serves as a biting commentary on real-world political systems. By satirizing the inefficiencies and absurdities of governance, the show holds a funhouse mirror up to our own societal structures. We see Ricks navigating their own power dynamics and conflicts, often leading to chaos rather than order. This reflection of our own world's political landscape through the lens of infinite Ricks provides a unique perspective on the flaws in our systems of government. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Citadel is how it treats Mortys. In the Ricklantis Mix-Up, we see Mortys being treated as commodities, emphasizing how they are often viewed as expendable resources by the Ricks. This commodification of individuals within the Citadel serves as a critique of similar practices in our own society, where people are often reduced to their economic value or utility. The existence of the Citadel also has profound implications for Rick and Morty's relationship. It forces both characters to confront the idea that their bond isn't unique. There are infinite versions of them with varying degrees of closeness and conflict. This realization challenges the specialness of their connection and adds a layer of complexity to their adventures. For Rick, the Citadel represents a struggle with his own sense of individuality. The fear of being just another Rick among many is a recurring theme throughout the series. This fear manifests in Rick's constant need to prove himself as the Rickest Rick, and his disdain for conformity. The Citadel serves as a constant reminder of the parts of himself that Rick despises, the potential for mediocrity, the need for structure, and the possibility of being ordinary. The ultimate fate of the Citadel is inextricably tied to the overarching narrative of the series. The introduction of Evil Morty, a character who seeks to dismantle the oppressive structures established by the Ricks, challenges their perceived dominance. This storyline brings the Citadel from a background element to a central plot point, highlighting its importance in the show's mythology. The writers of Rick and Morty have emphasized the Citadel's role in exploring themes of power, identity, and the consequences of Rick's actions. The Citadel serves as a microcosm of the larger multiverse, allowing the show to delve into complex ideas about society, governance, and the nature of identity in a reality where infinite versions of oneself exist. Rick and Morty's ability to break the fourth wall and engage in meta-commentary has become a defining feature of the show. This self-awareness allows the series to comment on its own narrative structure and the expectations of its audience, creating a playful dialogue between the creators and viewers. The show's approach to meta-humor is nuanced and carefully balanced. While self-referential jokes can be entertaining, the creators recognize the risk of overusing this technique. Too much meta-commentary could potentially erode the fourth wall to a point where the audience becomes overly conscious of the fact that they're watching a television show, potentially disrupting their immersion in the story. This careful approach is exemplified in an episode where Rick directly addresses this concern, stating, "It's funny when I do a little nod to the viewers, but what viewers?" This line not only serves as a humorous fourth wall break, but also demonstrates the show's self-awareness about its own use of meta-commentary. Rick and Morty's meta-elements are often compared to other animated shows that have successfully employed similar techniques. South Park, for instance, has managed to strike a balance between self-awareness and narrative depth. The creators of Rick and Morty have noted that while they appreciate the humor in meta-commentary, they strive to maintain a balance that keeps the story engaging and grounded. One of the most significant examples of the show's meta-commentary can be found in the episode Never Ricking Morty. This installment takes a deep dive into the concept of storytelling itself, exploring and critiquing the nature of meta-plots. The episode suggests that while meta-narratives can be entertaining, they often lack substance when overused. This self-reflective approach allows the show to comment on its own storytelling techniques while simultaneously delivering an engaging narrative. Rick and Morty's use of meta-commentary extends beyond simple fourth-wall breaks. The show often uses this technique to address fan expectations and criticisms. For instance, Rick frequently reflects on the absurdity of his adventures, which serves as a commentary on the show's sometimes chaotic narrative structure. This self-awareness allows the creators to acknowledge and even playfully critique aspects of their own work. The episode Rick Defending Your Mort provides another excellent example of the show's meta-approach. This installment showcases a series of previously unseen adventures, allowing for a humorous exploration of the characters' dynamics while also poking fun at the concept of clip shows. By doing so, the show demonstrates its ability to critique its own format while still delivering entertaining content. This self-referential humor serves multiple purposes within the show. It allows the creators to engage directly with their audience, acknowledging fan theories and expectations. It also provides a means of lampshading potential plot holes or inconsistencies, turning them into sources of humor rather than narrative weaknesses. Moreover, it adds an additional layer of complexity to the show's exploration of multiple realities and dimensions. The use of meta-commentary in Rick and Morty also reflects the show's broader themes of existentialism and the nature of reality. By breaking the fourth wall and acknowledging their existence as fictional characters, Rick and Morty blur the lines between reality and fiction, mirroring the show's exploration of multiple universes and realities. However, the creators are careful not to let meta-commentary overshadow the show's core narrative and emotional elements. While self-referential humor is a significant aspect of Rick and Morty, it's balanced with character development, complex storylines, and moments of genuine emotion. This balance ensures that the show remains engaging and relatable, even as it playfully deconstructs its own conventions. Beneath the layers of sci-fi absurdity in Rick and Morty lies a family struggling to stay together. How does a group of people survive both interdimensional chaos and each other? The Smiths' journey from dysfunctional to enduring is as wild as any of their cosmic adventures. At its core, Rick and Morty is a story about family. The Smith household consists of Rick, the brilliant but alcoholic scientist, his daughter Beth, a horse surgeon with abandonment issues, her husband Jerry, often portrayed as incompetent and insecure, and their children, Morty and Summer. Initially, their relationships are strained by Rick's disruptive presence and the constant threat of universe-ending catastrophes. The show's writers have masterfully woven family storytelling with sci-fi elements, creating a unique blend that allows for both humor and emotional depth. This combination enables the exploration of complex family dynamics in extraordinary circumstances. For instance, in A Rick Convenient Mort, we see Morty navigating a romantic relationship, while Beth's protective nature over her son comes to the forefront. This episode showcases how personal relationships can influence and reshape family dynamics, even in the midst of interdimensional adventures. As the series progresses, each family member undergoes significant character development, which in turn affects their relationships with one another. Beth's growth as a mother is particularly notable, as her character evolves from earlier, more apathetic portrayals to someone deeply invested in her children's well-being. This transformation is evident in episodes that focus on family therapy or bonding, where the Smiths are forced to confront their issues while simultaneously dealing with the absurdities of their universe. The show's ability to balance family drama with sci-fi concepts is one of its greatest strengths. While the family grapples with relatable issues like trust, communication, and identity, they do so against the backdrop of alternate realities and alien invasions. This juxtaposition allows the writers to explore traditional family conflicts in innovative ways, often using the sci-fi elements as metaphors for deeper emotional truths. Central to the series is Rick's relationship with Morty. Their bond evolves throughout the show, reflecting the writer's exploration of family loyalty amidst cosmic threats. Despite the chaotic nature of their adventures, the core of the story remains rooted in their familial connection. This dynamic serves as a microcosm for the larger Smith family, illustrating how shared experiences can strengthen bonds, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges. The Smith family consistently subverts typical sitcom tropes by showcasing their flaws and vulnerabilities rather than presenting an idealized version of family life. Episodes like Total Recall force the family to confront their own insecurities and the chaos that ensues from their interdimensional escapades. These moments of crisis often bring out the best in the characters, revealing a resilience that belies their dysfunctional nature. In Rick and Morty vs. the World, the family's dynamics are put to the test when they face external threats. This episode, like many others, demonstrates how the Smiths rely on each other in ways that reveal their growth and adaptability. It's in these moments of peril that we see the family at its strongest, working together despite their individual shortcomings. What keeps this dysfunctional family together in the face of cosmic threats and their own flaws? The answer lies in the shared experiences and growth they undergo together. Each interdimensional adventure, each near-death experience, and each moment of vulnerability contributes to a complex web of shared history. This shared history becomes the glue that binds them, even when their individual desires or beliefs might pull them apart. The writers of Rick and Morty have expressed a commitment to continuing the development of these family dynamics, ensuring that the Smiths remain at the heart of the series even as they navigate the complexities of the multiverse. This focus on emotional storytelling, woven seamlessly into the sci-fi narrative, allows for a deeper exploration of the characters' relationships and personal growth. Rick's nihilistic worldview permeates the very fabric of Rick and Morty, serving as both a philosophical cornerstone and a source of constant tension. At first glance, Rick embodies the ultimate nihilist, a genius who's seen it all across infinite realities and concluded that nothing truly matters. His cynical humor and reckless behavior often reinforce this bleak outlook, painting a picture of a man untethered from conventional morality or purpose. But as we peel back the layers of Rick's character, a more complex relationship with nihilism emerges. While he frequently espouses the belief that nothing matters, his actions tell a different story. Rick's fear of loss and his deep-seated need for connection contradict his stated philosophy, hinting at an internal struggle between embracing the void and seeking meaning in a chaotic universe. This contradiction becomes particularly evident in Rick's interactions with Morty. Despite his outward cynicism, moments of genuine care for his grandson suggest that Rick's nihilism may be more of a defense mechanism than a true conviction. These glimpses of vulnerability reveal a man grappling with the pain of emotional intimacy and the fear of losing those he cares about. The series cleverly uses Rick's nihilistic stance to explore existential themes, often placing him in situations where he must confront the consequences of his actions. A prime example is the episode Pickle Rick, where Rick's attempt to avoid family therapy by turning himself into a pickle leads to an unexpected journey of self-discovery. His avoidance of emotional confrontation during the therapy sessions illustrates the internal conflict between his nihilistic facade and his suppressed desire for connection. As the series progresses, we witness a gradual evolution in Rick's philosophy. While he initially embraces a staunchly nihilistic outlook, later episodes suggest a reluctant acknowledgement of the importance of relationships and emotional growth. This shift is particularly noticeable in his deepening bond with Morty, which challenges Rick's belief in the meaninglessness of existence. The show's creators have designed Rick's character to challenge traditional notions of heroism and morality. He often embodies the existential crisis of a genius who grapples with the futility of existence, yet can't fully commit to a life devoid of meaning. This complexity adds depth to his nihilistic persona, making him a fascinating study in the human struggle for purpose. Key scenes throughout the series highlight Rick's ongoing battle with nihilism. In the season 6 finale, Rick's confrontation with his past serves as a powerful example. His quest for revenge against Rick Prime, which has driven him for years, ultimately leaves him feeling empty. This revelation reinforces the idea that external achievements, even those as monumental as defeating one's nemesis, cannot fill the void left by personal loss and unresolved emotional trauma. The episode A Rick Convenient Mort provides an interesting counterpoint to Rick's nihilism through Morty's relationship with Planetina. As Morty experiences genuine emotional connection and grapples with difficult ethical choices, we see a stark contrast to Rick's detached worldview. Morty's willingness to sacrifice his happiness for the greater good represents a shift away from the self-centered philosophy his grandfather often espouses. This juxtaposition of Morty's emotional growth against Rick's nihilism serves to highlight the potential for finding meaning in a chaotic universe. It challenges the audience to consider whether genuine connections and moral choices can provide purpose, even in the face of cosmic insignificance. Morty Smith's journey from wide-eyed sidekick to a more complex, nuanced character is a testament to the richness of Rick and Morty's storytelling. At the outset of the series, Morty embodied the archetypal naive teenager, easily swayed by his grandfather's schemes and often struggling to keep up with the bizarre realities of interdimensional travel. This initial characterization set the stage for a profound transformation that would unfold over multiple seasons. The multiverse, with its infinite possibilities and moral ambiguities, serves as both classroom and crucible for Morty's growth. Each adventure challenges his preconceptions about reality, morality, and his own capabilities. The writers have crafted a coming-of-age narrative that diverges significantly from traditional tropes, intertwining Morty's personal development with the chaotic and unpredictable nature of the multiverse. One of the most pivotal moments in Morty's character arc occurs in the episode Rick Potion Nupatine. Here, Morty's choices lead to catastrophic consequences, forcing him to confront the weight of his actions and their impact on others. This episode serves as a harsh lesson in responsibility and the far-reaching effects of seemingly small decisions in a universe of infinite possibilities. As the series progresses, we witness Morty's gradual transformation from a passive participant to an essential partner in Rick's interdimensional escapades. The episode Rick and Morty the Ricklantis Mix-Up showcases Morty's growing ability to take charge and solve problems independently, marking a significant departure from his earlier role as Rick's hapless assistant. This shift illustrates his increasing confidence and capability as a character. Morty's relationships outside the family play a crucial role in his maturation process. The episode A Rick Convenient Mort stands out as a particularly impactful moment in Morty's growth. His relationship with Planetina, an environmental activist, serves as a pivotal experience that challenges his worldview and forces him to make difficult choices. Morty's willingness to risk his own safety to save Planetina highlights his capacity for love and sacrifice, essential elements of his coming-of-age journey. The writers of Rick and Morty have emphasized the importance of Morty's growth to the overall narrative of the series. They've noted that his experiences, particularly his connection with Planetina, are not merely isolated incidents, but transformative moments that shape his character. As one writer stated, Morty's connection with Planetina wasn't meaningless. It's something that's going to change the way he looks at the world, the way he approaches his life and love. This evolution is not limited to Morty's romantic relationships. Throughout the series, we see Morty developing a stronger moral compass and becoming more assertive in his interactions with Rick. He begins to question the ethics of their adventures and stand up for his beliefs, even when they conflict with Rick's plans. This growing independence and ethical awareness represent a significant departure from the easily manipulated Morty of earlier seasons. In recent episodes, Morty has taken on a more active role in their adventures, showcasing his growth from a passive participant to an essential partner in interdimensional escapades. This change is indicative of his maturation and the show's evolving narrative focus. The writers have expressed that this development is intentional, stating, "We wanted to show Morty growing up in a way that felt authentic to his experiences with Rick, reflecting the complexities of their relationship and the multiverse they navigate together." Morty's character arc subverts typical coming-of-age tropes by intertwining his growth with the chaotic and unpredictable nature of the multiverse. Rather than a straightforward journey, Morty's development is marked by complex relationships and moral dilemmas that challenge his understanding of himself and his place in the universe. This unique approach to character development has resonated with audiences, providing a fresh take on the traditional coming-of-age narrative. As the series has progressed, Morty's evolution from Rick's sidekick to a more equal partner has become increasingly apparent. His growing confidence and capability have allowed him to challenge Rick's decisions and contribute meaningfully to their adventures. This shift in dynamic not only reflects Morty's personal growth, but also adds new layers to the central relationship of the show. As Morty has matured, so too has the show's approach to its central conceit. How does Rick and Morty transform real quantum theories into a playground for storytelling? And what does this mean for the characters we've grown to love? At its core, Rick and Morty creatively interprets multiverse theory, presenting a chaotic and unpredictable universe where infinite possibilities exist. This approach not only serves as a backdrop for absurd and humorous situations, but also allows the show to engage with complex scientific concepts in a way that's both entertaining and thought-provoking. The multiverse theory in physics posits that our universe might be one of many, each with its own set of physical laws and constants. While scientists debate the existence and nature of these parallel universes, Rick and Morty takes this concept and runs with it, creating a vast playground for its characters to explore. The show's interpretation of the multiverse has evolved over time, particularly with the introduction of the Central Finite Curve. This concept limits the multiverse to universes where Rick is the smartest being, creating a hierarchy among realities. This addition to the show's lore has significant implications for the narrative, suggesting that there are other multiverses where Rick is not the dominant force. This opens up possibilities for new threats and challenges for the characters, adding layers of complexity to the already intricate storyline. Rick and Morty often engages with scientific concepts like quantum mechanics, using them as a foundation for its storytelling. This approach allows the show to explore philosophical questions about existence and identity in a way that's both accessible and entertaining. For instance, the idea of infinite parallel universes raises questions about the nature of free will and the consequences of our choices. The show's use of multiverse theory also provides a rich landscape for exploring character motivations and existential themes. Characters are often forced to confront their fears and desires across different realities, leading to profound moments of self-reflection and growth. This aspect of the show adds depth to its characters, making them more relatable despite the outlandish situations they find themselves in. Fans have engaged deeply with the show's scientific elements, often discussing the implications of the multiverse on character arcs and the overall narrative structure. This level of engagement reflects a strong interest in the philosophical underpinnings of the series, demonstrating how Rick and Morty has successfully bridged the gap between hard science fiction and mainstream entertainment. The multiverse concept drives the entire series, serving as more than just a convenient plot device. It's a fundamental aspect of the show's identity, allowing for infinite storytelling possibilities while also providing a framework for exploring complex themes. The ever-expanding nature of the multiverse keeps viewers on their toes, never knowing what bizarre reality or alternate version of a character might appear next. Rick and Morty strikes a delicate balance between scientific accuracy and creative freedom. While the show often bends the rules of physics to serve the story, it still references real scientific theories, making it accessible and entertaining for a broad audience. This approach allows viewers to engage with complex scientific concepts without getting bogged down in technical details, while still maintaining a sense of plausibility within the show's universe. While the show bends scientific rules, it's the bending of vocal cords that truly shaped Rick and Morty's universe. How did one man's voice work, breathe life into countless realities, and what happens when that voice falls silent? Justin Roiland's role as co-creator and voice of Rick and Morty was instrumental in defining the show's distinctive style. His approach to voicing the main characters went beyond mere line delivery, incorporating extensive improvisation that significantly influenced the show's humor. This technique allowed for spontaneous character interactions that contributed to the series' unique comedic voice, creating a sense of authenticity and unpredictability that resonated with audiences. Roiland's ability to seamlessly switch between Rick's gruff-belching scientist and Morty's anxious, pubescent teenager showcased his remarkable vocal range. This versatility enabled rapid-fire dialogue exchanges between the two characters, a hallmark of the show's pacing and humor. The challenge of voicing multiple characters in quick succession added a layer of complexity to Roiland's performance, requiring not just distinct voices, but also the ability to maintain character consistency while improvising. The impact of Roiland's vocal work extended beyond the main characters. His talent for creating unique voices for various background characters and one-off aliens helped populate the show's multiverse with memorable entities, each with their own quirks and personalities. This vocal world building contributed significantly to the rich tapestry of the Rick and Morty universe, making each alternate reality feel distinct and lived in. However, the departure of Justin Roiland from the show presented a significant challenge. How could a series so defined by one man's vocal performance continue without him? This question loomed large over the production team and fans alike, creating a sense of uncertainty about the future of the beloved characters. The process of finding new voices for Rick and Morty was rigorous and extensive. Showrunner Scott Marder described a casting process that spanned 6 months and involved auditioning thousands of candidates. The goal was not simply to find actors who could imitate Roiland's performances, but to discover those who could bring depth and versatility to the roles while maintaining the characters' established voices. Marder emphasized the importance of this process, stating, "We brought those guys back in with a wave of people a ton of times and made them go through a bunch of sides and do all scenes in a way we wouldn't even do normally, just to see what their stamina was and if they could stay in voice." This intense scrutiny ensured that the chosen actors could handle the demanding nature of the roles, including the rapid-fire dialogue and improvisational elements that had become synonymous with Rick and Morty. The decision to cast separate actors for Rick and Morty rather than having one person voice both characters as Roiland had done was a strategic choice. This approach allowed for better performance chemistry and alleviated the strain of having a single actor voice multiple main characters. It also opened up new possibilities for character interactions and development. Ian Cardone and Harry Belden, the actors chosen to voice Rick and Morty respectively, faced the daunting task of stepping into roles that had been defined by Roiland's performances. However, early reactions from fans have been largely positive, with many noting that the new actors quickly adapted to their roles and provided a seamless transition. This reception suggests that while Roiland's contribution to the show was significant, the characters of Rick and Morty have taken on a life of their own, capable of evolving beyond their original vocal performances. The transition to new voice actors marks a significant moment for Rick and Morty. It represents a shift from Roiland's singular vocal performance to a new era of the show, one that holds the potential for continued character development and storytelling. While the familiar voices may have changed, the essence of the characters and the show's irreverent humor remain intact, promising new adventures across the multiverse. As Rick and Morty approaches its 10th season, the show's journey from a quirky, back to the future-inspired concept to a cultural touchstone is remarkable. The series has consistently pushed boundaries, blending absurdist humor with poignant character moments and mind-bending sci-fi concepts. Its ability to balance these elements while exploring complex themes has earned it a dedicated fanbase and critical acclaim. The creators' commitment to long-term storytelling is evident in their plans for future seasons. As one source notes, the show's creators have hinted at major story arcs planned through to the end of Season 10, indicating a commitment to developing the series' overarching narrative and character growth in future seasons. This suggests that Rick and Morty will continue to evolve, potentially exploring new dimensions of its characters and universe. As the show moves forward, one can't help but wonder, how will Rick and Morty continue to innovate within the animation landscape, and what lasting impact will it have on the medium as a whole? Rick and Morty achieved a mind-bending record of 9.16 jokes per minute in Season 3. That's faster than most people can process information while fully awake. But don't worry, we're going to take it nice and slow. Over the next 3 hours, we'll unpack these rapid-fire jokes, revealing the genius behind each laugh-out-loud moment. Get comfortable, because we're about to dive deep into the most densely packed comedy on television. The birth of Rick and Morty wasn't a sudden burst of inspiration, but rather a gradual evolution of ideas and influences. Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland, two creative minds with a penchant for the unconventional, found themselves pondering a question that would ultimately shape the course of adult animation. What if a genius scientist and his grandson could travel anywhere in the multiverse? This seed of an idea grew from Roiland's earlier project, The Real Animated Adventures of Doc and Marty, a crude parody of the beloved Back to the Future characters. While the parody was short-lived due to potential legal issues, it laid the groundwork for what would become Rick and Morty. Harmon and Roiland took the core concept of an eccentric scientist and his young companion and began to mold it into something entirely new and original. As they developed the characters, Harmon and Roiland drew inspiration from various sci-fi properties. The idea of interdimensional travel allowed them to explore endless possibilities, much like Doctor Who's TARDIS or the starships in Star Trek. However, they wanted to ground these fantastic adventures in a dysfunctional family dynamic, adding a layer of relatability to the cosmic chaos. The process of pitching Rick and Morty to networks was far from smooth sailing. Many executives were hesitant about the show's unconventional premise and adult themes. Some found the characters too abrasive, while others struggled to envision how the complex sci-fi concepts would translate to an animated series. Harmon and Roiland faced rejection after rejection, but their belief in the project's potential kept them pushing forward. It was Adult Swim, Cartoon Network's late-night programming block, that finally saw the potential in Rick and Morty. Known for its willingness to take risks on offbeat and experimental content, Adult Swim provided the perfect platform for Harmon and Roiland's vision. The network's approach to content allowed for a level of creative freedom that was crucial in bringing the show's unique blend of high-concept sci-fi and dark humor to life. With the green light from Adult Swim, the real work began. The writing process for Rick and Morty was unlike anything seen in traditional sitcoms. Harmon implemented a version of his story circle technique, a narrative structure he had developed and used on his previous show, Community. This method helped ensure that even the most outlandish adventures had a solid emotional core and character development. Ideas for episodes often came from the most unexpected places. Writers would pitch concepts ranging from the scientifically plausible to the utterly absurd. No idea was too weird or too complex to explore. This approach led to episodes that could seamlessly blend high-concept sci-fi with deeply personal character moments, all while maintaining the show's signature humor. As production progressed, anticipation for Rick and Morty's premiere began to build. Adult Swim's marketing team embraced the show's quirky nature, creating teasers and promos that highlighted its unique blend of humor and sci-fi elements. The network's existing fan base, known for their appreciation of unconventional content, began to buzz with excitement about this new addition to the lineup. When Rick and Morty finally premiered on December 2nd, 2013, it was met with a mix of confusion, amusement, and instant devotion from viewers. The first episode, Pilot, threw audiences headfirst into the chaotic world of Rick Sanchez and his grandson, Morty Smith. It showcased the show's willingness to push boundaries, both in terms of content and animation style. The initial reception was positive, with critics praising the show's originality and sharp writing. Viewers were drawn in by the complex characters and the promise of endless possibilities that the multiverse concept offered. However, it was the show's ability to balance its sci-fi elements with genuine emotional depth that truly set it apart. In that first adventure, Rick's reckless pursuit of science nearly destroyed the world. This set the tone for the series, establishing the high stakes and moral ambiguity that would become hallmarks of Rick and Morty. It also introduced viewers to the Smith family dynamics, hinting at the complex relationships that would be explored throughout the series. The Smith family may seem like your average dysfunctional American household, but beneath the surface lies a complex web of relationships and hidden depths that form the beating heart of Rick and Morty. At the center of this familial chaos is the sudden return of Rick Sanchez, Beth's long-absent father, who crashes back into their lives after a 20-year disappearance. His arrival doesn't just bring sci-fi adventures and interdimensional escapades, it uproots the very foundation of the Smith family dynamic. When we first meet the Smiths, they appear to be a fairly typical suburban family. Beth, a horse surgeon, struggles with her own ambitions and the life choices that led her to where she is. Jerry, her husband, is insecure and often unemployment, constantly seeking validation from his family and the world at large. Their children, Summer and Morty, are navigating the treacherous waters of adolescence, dealing with school, social pressures, and their own evolving identities. But Rick's return acts as a catalyst, setting in motion a series of events that will forever change each family member. Beth in particular finds herself torn between her long-held resentment towards her absent father and a desperate need for his approval. Her relationship with Rick is a complex tapestry of love, admiration, and deep-seated anger. Beth's character is further complicated by the revelation of her birth year, 1984, which places her childhood squarely in the aftermath of Rick's departure. This timing is crucial to understanding Beth's psychology. Growing up without a father figure during her formative years has left Beth with abandonment issues and a fierce determination to prove her worth. Her chosen career as a horse surgeon, while respected, is a constant reminder of the compromises she's made in life. Beth's struggle with her own potential and the shadow of her genius father becomes a recurring theme throughout the series. Jerry, on the other hand, finds himself constantly at odds with Rick. Initially portrayed as the family's punching bag, Jerry's character undergoes significant growth as the series progresses. His insecurities and perceived inadequacies are often played for laughs, but they also serve as a foil to Rick's seemingly limitless capabilities. Jerry's journey is one of self-discovery and resilience, as he learns to stand up for himself and find his place in a family that often seems to function better without him. Summer, the eldest Smith child, initially takes a back seat to the adventures of Rick and Morty. However, as the series unfolds, she evolves from a background character focused on typical teenage concerns into an active participant in the family's interdimensional exploits. Summer's growth reflects the show's ability to subvert expectations and develop its characters in unexpected ways. Her increasing involvement in Rick's schemes adds new dynamics to the family structure and provides fresh perspectives on the bizarre situations they encounter. Perhaps the most dramatic transformation occurs in Morty, Rick's grandson and frequent adventure companion. When we first meet Morty, he's a timid, easily manipulated teenager, often serving as little more than a human shield for Rick's dangerous experiments. But As he's exposed to the wonders and horrors of the multiverse, Morty begins to change. He becomes more assertive, developing his own moral code and learning to navigate the complexities of interdimensional travel. Morty's journey from sidekick to experienced dimension hopper is a central arc of the series, reflecting the show's themes of growth, identity, and the impact of extraordinary experiences on ordinary people. As the Smith family navigates their new reality with Rick, long-buried secrets begin to surface. One of the most significant revelations comes in the form of Froopy Land, a pocket dimension created by Rick during Beth's childhood. This seemingly whimsical world holds a dark secret that sheds light on Beth's troubled relationship with her father and her own repressed trauma. Froopy Land serves as a microcosm of Rick's parenting style, a world of wonder and possibility that's also fraught with danger and abandonment. The revelation of this dimension and its purpose exposes the depths of Beth's childhood neglect and the lengths to which Rick went to avoid genuine parental responsibility. It's a turning point in Beth's understanding of her father and herself, forcing her to confront the reality of her past and its impact on her present. The uncovering of Froopyland and its significance ripples through the entire Smith family. It challenges their perceptions of Beth, of Rick, and of their own places within this newly expanded universe. The family dynamics shift as they grapple with this new information, adding layers of complexity to their relationships and driving character development in unexpected directions. As we venture deeper into the labyrinthine world of Rick and Morty, we encounter a concept that challenges our very understanding of existence: the multiverse. In this vast tapestry of infinite realities, every possibility plays out simultaneously, creating a playground for scientific exploration and philosophical contemplation. But what does it mean when there are countless versions of yourself scattered across dimensions? This question forms the crux of Rick's identity and the show's narrative framework. The multiverse in Rick and Morty isn't just a backdrop for adventures, it's a fundamental aspect of the show's universe. Each reality represents a different path, a divergent choice, or a slight variation in circumstance. This concept allows the creators to explore endless what-if scenarios, from a world where humans evolved from corn to one where pizza orders people. But beyond the comedic potential, the multiverse serves as a mirror, reflecting the characters' deepest fears, desires, and insecurities. At the heart of this infinite expanse lies the Citadel of Ricks, an interdimensional hub where Ricks and Mortys from various realities converge. This megalopolis serves as a testament to Rick's genius across dimensions, but it also highlights the paradoxical nature of his character. While each Rick claims to be a unique individual, they've created a bureaucratic society that homogenizes their experiences. The Citadel attempts to maintain order across realities, but it also represents a form of conformity that our Rick C-137 vehemently rejects. Throughout the series, we encounter a kaleidoscope of Ricks and Mortys, each with their own quirks and traits. There's Doofus Rick, who lacks the typical Rick cynicism and forms a genuine bond with Jerry. We meet Lawyer Morty, who challenges the notion that all Mortys are simple-minded sidekicks. These variations serve to highlight the uniqueness of our main characters, while simultaneously questioning the nature of their relationship. If there are infinite versions of Rick and Morty, what makes the bond between C-137 Rick and his Morty special? The concept of the Central Finite Curve adds another layer of complexity to the multiverse. This subset of realities, where Rick is the smartest being, raises questions about free will and predestination. By cordoning off these specific universes, Rick has essentially created a playground where he's always at the top of the intellectual food chain. This limitation speaks to Rick's ego and his need for control, but it also hints at a deeper insecurity. What is Rick afraid of in the universes beyond the curve? Rick C-137, our Rickest Rick, stands out among his counterparts for several reasons. His attachment to his family, particularly Morty, sets him apart from other Ricks who view their Morty as disposable. C-137's willingness to sacrifice himself for his loved ones, as seen in the Rickshank Redemption episode, demonstrates a depth of emotion that many Ricks seem to lack. Moreover, his relentless pursuit of the Rick who killed his family suggests a capacity for long-term planning and emotional investment, that's rare among his alternates. As we peel back the layers of Rick's character, subtle hints and Easter eggs begin to paint a picture of his mysterious past. The brief flashes of memory we see in the Rick Shank redemption suggest a tragic origin that shaped Rick into the complex anti-hero we know. His knowledge of the Citadel's inner workings and his ability to outsmart the Council of Ricks imply a history that goes beyond mere dimension-hopping adventures. One particularly intriguing theory stems from the episode The Ricklantis Mix-Up, where we see a Rick with scars identical to our Rick C-137. This Rick, working as a simple factory worker, could be a glimpse into an alternate path our Rick might have taken. Such Easter eggs invite speculation about the pivotal moments that defined Rick C-137's journey and set him apart from his counterparts. The concept of infinite realities in Rick and Morty doesn't just serve as a backdrop for our wild adventures, it constantly challenges our understanding of identity, free will, and the nature of reality itself. In a universe where every possibility exists simultaneously, what gives meaning to our choices? If there are infinite versions of ourselves making every possible decision, do our actions in this reality truly matter? In the world of Rick and Morty, science fiction and reality often blur into a mesmerizing tapestry of absurdity. While the multiverse challenges our notion of free will, Rick's inventions push the boundaries of scientific possibility. But how thin is the line between science fiction and potential reality in the world of Rick and Morty? Rick Sanchez's laboratory is a treasure trove of mind-bending gadgets and devices that seem to defy the laws of physics. From interdimensional travel to consciousness transfer, these creations appear to be the stuff of pure fantasy. Yet, upon closer inspection, some of Rick's inventions might have roots in real scientific concepts, albeit taken to extreme and often comical lengths. Let's start with the iconic portal gun, a device that allows Rick and Morty to traverse dimensions with ease. While the idea of instantly traveling between realities seems far-fetched, it's not entirely devoid of scientific basis. Theoretical physicists have long pondered the existence of wormholes, hypothetical tunnels in space-time, that could potentially connect distant parts of the universe. While we're far from creating a handheld device capable of generating wormholes, the concept itself isn't purely fictional. The portal gun's ability to manipulate space-time also raises questions about the nature of reality and the possibility of parallel universes. The many-worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics suggests that every possible outcome of a quantum event creates a new universe, resulting in an infinite number of parallel realities. While this interpretation remains controversial, it shares some similarities with the multiverse concept in Rick and Morty. Another intriguing invention is the mega seeds, which temporarily boost intelligence to superhuman levels. While no such miracle seeds exist in our world, the concept of cognitive enhancement is an active area of research. Scientists are exploring various methods to improve human cognition, from pharmaceuticals to brain-computer interfaces. While we're not likely to see anything as dramatic as the mega seeds' effects, the pursuit of cognitive enhancement is very much a reality in modern science. The microverse battery, a miniature universe created to generate power, is another prime example of Rick's scientific ingenuity. While creating a universe within a battery is beyond our current capabilities, the concept of harnessing energy from smaller systems is not entirely foreign to modern physics. Quantum energy harvesting, for instance, aims to capture energy from quantum fluctuations in vacuum. Though far less dramatic than Rick's creation, it demonstrates how even the most outlandish ideas in the show might have tenuous connections to real scientific pursuits. Rick's body-swapping technology, as seen in the episode Big Trouble in Little Sanchez, raises fascinating questions about consciousness and identity. While we can't transfer consciousness between bodies, neuroscientists are making strides in understanding how our brains generate our sense of self. Research into brain-computer interfaces and neural implants is pushing the boundaries of what's possible in terms of connecting our minds to external systems. As we examine these inventions, it becomes clear that while Rick's creations are exaggerated for comedic effect, they often contain kernels of real scientific concepts. This blend of absurdity and scientific plausibility is part of what makes Rick and Morty so engaging for science enthusiasts. So, which of Rick's inventions could potentially exist in our world? While we're unlikely to see a functioning portal gun or microverse battery anytime soon, some concepts are closer to reality than others. For instance, the Me-Seeks box, which creates beings designed to solve a single problem before ceasing to exist, could be seen as an extreme extrapolation of task-specific artificial intelligence. We already have AI systems designed for specific purposes, though they're far from the sentient, physical beings seen in the show. The memory-erasing device used in Morty's Mind Blowers is another invention that, while fantastical, isn't entirely removed from real scientific pursuits. Researchers are exploring ways to selectively alter memories, particularly for treating conditions like PTSD. While we're far from the precise memory manipulation seen in the show, the concept of modifying specific memories isn't pure fiction. Even Rick's spaceship, with its seemingly impossible feats of faster-than-light travel, isn't entirely divorced from scientific speculation. While we can't currently achieve faster-than-light travel, theoretical concepts like the Alcubierre drive propose ways to potentially circumvent the cosmic speed limit by warping space-time itself. While Rick's inventions challenge our understanding of reality, the show's visual style presents its own set of paradoxes. How does Rick and Morty maintain a consistent look while constantly reinventing itself for each new dimension and alien world? At its core, Rick and Morty's animation style is deceptively simple. The characters are drawn with clean lines and bold colors, reminiscent of classic cartoons. But this simplicity is merely a canvas for the show's boundless creativity. The animators use this foundation to create a visual language that can adapt to any situation, no matter how bizarre or otherworldly. One of the biggest challenges faced by the animation team is the need to create new environments and characters for almost every episode. Unlike traditional animated shows that might reuse backgrounds or stick to a limited cast, Rick and Morty's multiverse setting demands constant innovation. Each new planet, dimension, or alternate reality must feel distinct and memorable, while still fitting within the show's established aesthetic. To accomplish this, the artists employ a variety of techniques. They play with perspective and scale, creating landscapes that range from the microscopic to the cosmic. In one scene, we might see Rick and Morty navigating the internal organs of a giant alien, while in the next, they could be floating in the vastness of space. The ability to seamlessly transition between these extreme scales is a testament to the flexibility of the show's visual style. Color plays a crucial role in distinguishing different realities and conveying mood. Earth-based scenes often use a more muted palette, grounding them in a sense of familiarity. In contrast, alien worlds explode with vibrant hues and unexpected color combinations. This not only helps viewers quickly understand when the characters have traveled to a new dimension, but also contributes to the emotional tone of each scene. Lighting is another tool used to great effect. The harsh, clinical light of Rick's garage laboratory contrasts sharply with the warm glow of the Smith family living room. In more surreal sequences, lighting can become a character in itself, bending and twisting in ways that defy physics, further emphasizing the mind-bending nature of Rick's adventures. The design of alien species in Rick and Morty is where the animator's creativity truly shines, from the simplistic Me-Seeks to the complex. Anatomy of the Chromolons, each new creature is a unique blend of the familiar and the utterly alien. Some designs play with human features in unsettling ways, while others abandon humanoid forms entirely. This diversity not only keeps the show visually interesting, but also reinforces the concept of infinite possibilities within the multiverse. Interdimensional landscapes pose their own unique challenges. How do you visually represent a reality where the laws of physics don't apply? The animators tackle this by bending perspective, creating impossible geometries, and playing with the very fabric of the animated space. Backgrounds might morph and shift, or multiple realities might bleed into each other within a single frame. Pop culture references are woven into the visual fabric of the show, often in subtle ways that reward attentive viewers. These can range from background details that mimic famous movie scenes to character designs that parody well-known figures. However, these references are never allowed to overshadow the show's unique style. Instead, they're integrated seamlessly, adding an extra layer of richness for those who spot them. As the series has progressed, the animation style has evolved in subtle but significant ways. The character designs have become more refined, with smoother lines and more consistent proportions. This evolution is particularly noticeable in the main cast. Rick's hair, for example, has become more defined and expressive over time, while Morty's facial features have been subtly adjusted to better convey his growing maturity and complexity as a character. The backgrounds have also grown more detailed and textured. Early episodes often featured relatively simple environments, but as the show's scope expanded, so did the intricacy of its worlds. This is particularly evident in episodes that revisit familiar locations like the Citadel of Ricks, where the increased detail helps to convey the passage of time and the changing nature of these spaces. Perhaps the most significant change in the show's visual style has been the increased use of dynamic camera movements in complex action sequences. While early episodes tended to rely more on static shots and dialogue-driven scenes, later seasons have embraced more cinematic techniques. This shift allows for more immersive and visually spectacular adventures, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in 2D animation. 7. Breaking the fourth wall. Meta-narratives and self-awareness. As Rick and Morty pushes the boundaries of 2D animation, it also challenges the very fabric of storytelling itself. The show's creators have woven a tapestry of meta-narratives and self-awareness that goes beyond simple fourth-wall breaks. It's as if the characters themselves are questioning their own existence within the confines of a television series. Meta-narratives in Rick and Morty serve a dual purpose. On one hand, they provide comedic relief by poking fun at common tropes and conventions of storytelling. On the other, they invite viewers to question the nature of reality, both within the show and in their own lives. This self-referential approach adds layers of complexity to the series, rewarding attentive viewers with hidden jokes and deeper meanings. One of the most prominent examples of meta-narrative in the show is Rick's frequent breaking of the fourth wall. These moments often come in the form of casual asides or direct addresses to the audience. While it's common for cartoon characters to occasionally acknowledge the viewer, Rick's awareness seems to go beyond mere comedic effect. His comments often hint at a deeper understanding of the show's structure and even its production process. For instance, in one episode, Rick makes a reference to the show's writing staff, suggesting that he knows he's a fictional character. This level of self-awareness raises intriguing questions about the nature of Rick's character. Is he truly cognizant of his fictional status, or is this simply another layer of the show's complex humor? The show's creators have also used entire episodes to explore meta-narratives and parody TV tropes. One notable example is the interdimensional cable episodes, where Rick modifies the family's television to pick up broadcasts from infinite realities. This concept serves as a vehicle for rapid-fire sketches and improvised dialogue, but it also functions as a commentary on the nature of television itself. By presenting absurd and often poorly produced shows from other dimensions, Rick and Morty satirizes the conventions of our own television landscape. Another fascinating aspect of the show's meta-narrative approach is its treatment of storytelling conventions. Episodes often begin with seemingly straightforward plots that quickly spiral into chaos, subverting audience expectations. This deliberate undermining of traditional narrative structures forces viewers to question their assumptions about how stories should unfold. The show's writers have also played with the idea of characters being aware of their roles within the narrative. In one episode, a character explicitly references the fact that they're experiencing a bottle episode, a term used in television production for episodes that take place in a single location to save on budget. This level of awareness extends beyond just Rick, suggesting that the entire universe of the show might be self-aware on some level. Theories abound among fans about the extent of Rick's awareness of his fictional nature. Some speculate that his nihilistic outlook and apparent disregard for consequences stem from his knowledge that he's in a TV show. Others suggest that his dimension-hopping abilities have given him a meta-awareness that extends beyond the fourth wall. While these theories remain unconfirmed, they speak to the depth of the show's engagement with meta-narratives, as viewers were left to wonder about the hidden meta-references that might be scattered throughout the series. Could seemingly innocuous background details or throwaway lines contain deeper meanings about the nature of the show itself? This layer of mystery adds an extra dimension to the viewing experience, encouraging fans to scrutinize every frame for potential clues. The show's use of meta-narratives also extends to more subtle forms of fourth wall breaking. For example, characters occasionally make references to the show's runtime or commercial breaks, blurring the line between the fictional world and the real-world constraints of television production. These moments are often so seamlessly integrated into the dialogue that viewers might not even register them as fourth wall breaks on first viewing. Rick and Morty's approach to meta-narratives and self-awareness goes beyond simple gags or references. It's an integral part of the show's DNA, woven into its very fabric. By constantly questioning and subverting the conventions of storytelling, the show challenges viewers to think critically about the nature of fiction and reality. 8. The multiverse of humor, evolving comedy in Rick and Morty. As we shift our focus from the show's mind-bending narratives to its comedic backbone, a perplexing question emerges. How does Rick and Morty maintain its comedic edge while cramming in an astonishing 916 jokes per minute? This dense tapestry of humor isn't just a random assortment of gags. It's a carefully crafted blend of high-concept sci-fi and lowbrow humor that has evolved significantly since the show's inception. Rick and Morty's unique comedic style is characterized by its rapid-fire delivery, seamlessly weaving together intricate scientific concepts with crude jokes and pop culture references. This approach allows the show to appeal to a wide range of audiences, from science enthusiasts to casual viewers looking for a laugh. The writers skillfully balance intellectual humor with more accessible jokes, ensuring that there's something for everyone in each episode. The show's joke density has increased substantially since its first season. Early episodes, while still packed with humor, focused more on establishing the characters and the rules of the multiverse. As the series progressed, the writers became more adept at layering jokes, often incorporating visual gags, background details, and rapid-fire dialogue to maximize the humor in each scene. This evolution reflects the growing confidence of the writing team and their deep understanding of the show's comedic potential. One of the key elements contributing to Rick and Morty's unique humor is the use of improvisation. Justin Roiland, who voices both Rick and Morty, is known for his improvisational skills, often ad-libbing entire scenes during recording sessions. This spontaneous approach adds an element of unpredictability to the dialogue, resulting in some of the show's most memorable and quotable moments. The writers then skillfully weave these improvised lines into the scripted content, creating a seamless blend of planned and spontaneous humor. Recurring gags and catchphrases play a significant role in Rick and Morty's comedy, but they're far from static. Phrases like wubba-looba dub-dub or get swifty have become fan favorites, but the show constantly finds ways to subvert expectations and give these catchphrases new meanings or contexts. This evolution keeps the humor fresh and prevents the show from relying too heavily on familiar jokes. The show's ability to appeal to various audience demographics is a testament to its multi-layered approach to humor. For younger viewers, there's plenty of slapstick and absurdist humor. Older audiences might appreciate the more subtle references to philosophy, literature, and scientific theories. Film buffs can enjoy the countless movie parodies and homages scattered throughout the series. This diverse approach ensures that viewers of all ages and backgrounds can find something to laugh at, contributing to the show's broad appeal and cult following. As we peel back the layers of Rick and Morty's comedic onion, we begin to uncover the secret behind its ability to pack so many jokes into each minute of runtime. The key lies in the show's masterful use of visual storytelling. While the dialogue is often rapid-fire and filled with jokes, the animators work tirelessly to fill every frame with additional gags, Easter eggs, and visual puns. This approach allows for multiple jokes to land simultaneously, with verbal humor complemented by visual gags. Moreover, the show's sci-fi setting provides an endless canvas for comedic exploration. Each new dimension or alien world introduces opportunities for unique jokes and situations that wouldn't be possible in a more grounded setting. The writers take full advantage of this, using the multiverse concept to push the boundaries of what's possible in comedy. The evolution of Rick and Morty's humor is also closely tied to the development of its characters. As the show has progressed, the writers have deepened the personalities and backstories of the main cast, allowing for more nuanced and character-driven humor. This character development has enabled the show to balance its rapid-fire jokes with moments of genuine emotion and introspection, adding depth to the overall comedic experience. 9. Philosophical pickle. Deep thoughts in a crazy universe. While Rick's catchphrases and Morty's anxious stammering keep us laughing, the show quietly grapples with concepts that have puzzled philosophers for centuries. How does a cartoon about interdimensional adventures manage to tackle existentialism, free will, and the nature of reality? At its core, Rick and Morty is a series that uses its sci-fi premise to explore profound philosophical questions. The show's creators have woven complex ideas into the fabric of their storytelling, challenging viewers to think beyond the surface-level humor and consider the deeper implications of the characters' adventures. One of the most prominent philosophical themes in Rick and Morty is existentialism. The show frequently confronts characters with the vastness of the universe and their own insignificance within it. This is particularly evident in episodes like Rick's D-Minutes, where Morty comforts his sister, Summer, after learning that their parents considered abortion. Morty's speech about how nobody exists on purpose and everybody dies serves as a poignant reminder of the existential dilemmas at the heart of the show. The concept of nihilism is closely tied to Rick's character and worldview. Rick's catchphrase, "Nobody exists on purpose, nobody belongs anywhere, everybody's going to die," encapsulates his nihilistic outlook. However, the show doesn't simply present nihilism as a fait accompli. Instead, it explores the tension between Rick's nihilistic tendencies and his actions, which often betray a deep care for his family. This contradiction raises questions about the sustainability of a purely nihilistic worldview and the human need for meaning and connection. The multiverse theory central to Rick and Morty's plot provides a unique platform for examining questions of identity and morality. With infinite versions of each character existing across dimensions, the show challenges traditional notions of individuality and personal responsibility. When Rick and Morty abandon their original dimension in Rick Potion number 9 and seamlessly replace their dead counterparts in another, it forces viewers to confront uncomfortable questions about the nature of self and the ethical implications of our actions in a potentially infinite universe. Free will and determinism are recurring themes throughout the series. The existence of a Central Finite Curve, a subset of realities where Rick is the smartest being, raises questions about the extent of free will in a multiverse where every possible outcome occurs. Episodes like the Ricklantis Mix-Up further complicate this by showing how different versions of the same person can lead vastly different lives based on circumstance, challenging the idea of individual agency. The show's treatment of consciousness and personal identity is particularly thought-provoking. In Morty Night Run, when Morty plays a game that simulates an entire life, it raises questions about the nature of reality and experience. If a simulated life feels real to the person experiencing it, is it any less valid than our own reality? This ties into philosophical debates about the nature of consciousness and the possibility that our own reality could be a simulation. Rick and Morty also delves into ethical philosophy, often presenting moral dilemmas with no clear right answer. The episode A Wrinkle in Time explores the consequences of altering timelines, forcing characters to grapple with the ethical implications of their actions across multiple realities. This ties into broader questions about moral responsibility in a universe where every possible action occurs somewhere. The show's exploration of meaning and purpose in a seemingly meaningless universe is perhaps its most profound philosophical contribution. While Rick often espouses a nihilistic worldview, the series itself seems to suggest that meaning can be found in relationships and personal growth, even in the face of cosmic insignificance. This is exemplified in Morty's character development throughout the series, as he learns to navigate the chaotic multiverse while maintaining his sense of empathy and morality. By embedding these weighty philosophical concepts within its irreverent humor and sci-fi adventures, Rick and Morty manages to make complex ideas accessible to a wide audience. The show doesn't preach or offer easy answers, but instead presents viewers with thought-provoking scenarios that encourage further reflection and discussion. 10. Character depth in infinite dimensions. In a universe where every possibility exists, how do characters truly grow? This question lies at the heart of Rick and Morty's character development, challenging our understanding of personal growth and identity. The show's multiverse setting presents a unique dilemma. When characters can simply hop to a new reality where their choices never happened, how do they face the consequences of their actions and evolve? The Smith family's journey through infinite realities forces them to confront the vastness of existence and their place within it. Each character grapples with the knowledge that countless versions of themselves exist, making seemingly insignificant decisions or living out radically different lives. This awareness could easily lead to a sense of meaninglessness or apathy, yet the show's characters manage to find ways to grow and change despite the endless possibilities surrounding them. Rick Sanchez, the brilliant but troubled scientist, embodies this struggle most prominently. His nihilistic worldview stems from his deep understanding of the multiverse, yet his character arc reveals layers of complexity beyond simple cynicism. Rick's emotional journey involves moments of vulnerability and connection, particularly with his grandson Morty. These instances of genuine emotion, rare as they may be, highlight the internal conflict between Rick's scientific detachment and his human need for connection. As the series progresses, we witness Rick's subtle shifts in behavior and attitude. His interactions with his family become more nuanced, and his willingness to sacrifice for them grows. This evolution is particularly poignant, given Rick's ability to simply find a new family in another dimension. His choice to remain with and protect this specific version of the Smith family speaks volumes about his character development, even if he'd never admit it outright. Morty's transformation from a naive, anxious sidekick to a morally conflicted adventurer is equally compelling. Initially overwhelmed by the multiverse, Morty gradually develops a more nuanced understanding of the complexities of interdimensional travel. His experiences shape his worldview, challenging his moral compass and forcing him to make difficult decisions. Morty's growth is evident in his increasing ability to stand up to Rick, question the ethics of their adventures, and navigate the moral ambiguities of their actions. Across dimensions, Beth's character arc explores themes of self-discovery and identity in a unique way. Her journey involves confronting her relationship with Rick, her unfulfilled aspirations, and the paths not taken. The introduction of Beth's clone adds another layer to her character development, forcing her to confront different versions of herself and question her choices. This exploration of alternate selves serves as a metaphor for the internal struggles we all face when considering the roads not taken in our lives. Summer, initially a background character, grows into a more prominent role as the series progresses. Her adaptation to interdimensional life showcases resilience and flexibility. Summer's increased involvement in Rick and Morty's adventures allows her to develop a more nuanced perspective on family dynamics and her place in the universe. Her character growth is marked by a balance between maintaining her identity and embracing the chaos of infinite realities. Perhaps the most surprising character transformation comes from Jerry, Beth's husband and the family's perpetual underdog. Initially portrayed as insecure and incompetent, Jerry's character arc takes unexpected turns. Despite being often sidelined or ridiculed, Jerry shows moments of growth and self-awareness. His struggles to find his place in a family of interdimensional adventurers lead to both comedic and poignant moments of character development. Jerry's journey involves coming to terms with his limitations, while also discovering hidden strengths. His experiences across different realities force him to confront his insecurities and occasionally rise to challenges in unexpected ways. While Jerry may never achieve the same level of interdimensional savvy as the rest of his family, His gradual acceptance of the bizarre realities around him and his attempts to assert himself demonstrate a unique form of character growth. The show's approach to character development in an infinite multiverses setting raises intriguing questions about the nature of personal growth and identity. It suggests that even in a reality where every possible version of oneself exists, individual choices and experiences still matter. The character's growth is not negated by the existence of alternate versions. Instead, it's enhanced by the contrast between different possibilities and the conscious choices made in the face of infinite options. 11. The dark side of interdimensional cable. In a universe where every possibility exists, the line between humor and horror becomes increasingly blurred. Rick and Morty's interdimensional cable episodes have long been a fan favorite, offering glimpses into bizarre alternate realities that often elicit both laughter and discomfort. But what if these seemingly harmless glimpses into other dimensions carry a darker undercurrent? The show's creators have masterfully woven dark humor throughout the series, using it as a vehicle to explore complex themes and push the boundaries of what audiences find acceptable. This approach allows them to tackle heavy subjects under the guise of comedy, often leaving viewers unsure whether to laugh or cringe. One of the most striking examples of this balance between comedy and disturbing content can be found in the episode 60 Minutes. While the interdimensional cable segments provide plenty of absurd humor, they're juxtaposed against a deeply emotional subplot involving Summer discovering she was an unplanned pregnancy. This contrast highlights how the show uses its sci-fi premise to explore very real and often painful human experiences. The psychological impact of interdimensional travel on the characters is another area where the show's dark humor shines. Rick's cavalier attitude towards hopping between realities masks a profound existential crisis. His ability to simply move to a new dimension when things go wrong in one reality raises questions about the value of life and the consequences of one's actions. This attitude extends to the show's treatment of death and family members. In Rick Potion Number 9, Rick and Morty abandon their original dimension for one where their counterparts have just died. They literally bury their own bodies and take their places. This scene, played for dark laughs, actually represents a deeply traumatic event for Morty, one that continues to haunt him throughout the series. The replaceable nature of family members in an infinite multiverse is a recurring theme that pushes ethical boundaries. It raises uncomfortable questions about the nature of identity in relationships. If there are infinite versions of your loved ones across dimensions, does that make each individual less valuable? The show doesn't shy away from exploring these unsettling implications. Fan reactions to the show's darkest moments have been mixed. While many appreciate the series' willingness to tackle difficult subjects, others find certain scenes too disturbing. The show's subreddit is often filled with discussions about episodes that went too far, or moments that left viewers feeling genuinely uncomfortable. One of the most ethically challenging scenes in the series occurs in the episode The Ricklantis Mix-Up. This episode explores a society of Ricks and Mortys, showing how power structures and social inequalities can develop even in a seemingly equal society. The episode culminates in a twist ending that reveals the depths of manipulation and cruelty possible in this multiverse. Another particularly dark moment comes in autoerotic assimilation, where Rick's reunion with a former lover ends in a failed suicide attempt. This scene, which comes immediately after a series of comedic adventures, hits viewers with the full weight of Rick's inner turmoil and loneliness. The show's exploration of nihilism reaches its peak in Pickle Rick, an episode that on the surface is about Rick turning himself into a pickle to avoid family therapy. However, the episode delves deep into themes of self-destruction, avoidance, and the lengths people will go to escape confronting their own issues. These dark themes and moments serve a greater purpose beyond shock value. They contribute to the show's exploration of existentialism, free will, and the search for meaning in a seemingly meaningless universe. By pushing viewers out of their comfort zones, Rick and Morty encourages deeper reflection on these philosophical questions. 12. Szechuan Sauce and Beyond, Rick and Morty's cultural explosion. In a universe where cartoon characters can spark real-world chaos, Rick and Morty's influence extends far beyond the screen. The show's ability to turn fictional obsessions into cultural phenomena was never more apparent than with the infamous Szechuan Sauce incident. What began as a seemingly throwaway joke in the season 3 premiere would soon ignite a frenzy that even the show's creators couldn't have predicted. The Szechuan Sauce saga began innocently enough. In the episode The Rick Shank Redemption, Rick mentions his quest for a limited edition McDonald's Szechuan sauce that was briefly available in 1998 as a promotion for the Disney film Mulan. This offhand reference, lasting mere seconds, struck a chord with the show's passionate fanbase. Viewers, intrigued by Rick's obsession, began clamoring for the long-discontinued sauce. McDonald's, recognizing an opportunity, decided to capitalize on this sudden interest. In October 2017, they announced a limited re-release of the Szechuan sauce at select locations. What followed was a perfect storm of supply shortage and overwhelming demand. Fans lined up for hours, only to find that most locations had received merely 20 packets of the sauce. The scarcity led to chaos at several McDonald's restaurants, with reports of angry crowds and even police intervention in some areas. The Szechuan sauce incident demonstrated the immense power of Rick and Morty's fanbase. It showed how a single reference in an animated series could mobilize thousands of people and influence the decisions of a global corporation. This event wasn't just about sauce, it was a testament to the show's cultural impact and its ability to blur the lines between fiction and reality. But the Szechuan sauce phenomenon is just one example of Rick and Morty's real-world influence. The show has sparked interest in scientific concepts among its younger viewers. Complex ideas like quantum mechanics, multiverse theory, and existentialism are woven into the fabric of the series, making them more accessible to a general audience. This has led to increased engagement with scientific topics, with fans seeking out additional information on the theories referenced in the show. Educational institutions have taken notice of this trend. Some high school and college professors have incorporated Rick and Morty references into their lessons, using the show's popularity as a gateway to discuss complex, scientific, and philosophical concepts. This unexpected educational impact highlights the show's ability to inspire curiosity and critical thinking beyond mere entertainment. Rick and Morty's influence extends to the realm of consumer products as well. The show's success has led to a wide range of merchandise, from action figures and clothing to board games and even a virtual reality experience. These products often sell out quickly, further demonstrating the purchasing power of the fan base. However, managing such a passionate fan base comes with its challenges. The show's creators and network have had to navigate the fine line between fan engagement and maintaining creative control. Some fans have exhibited toxic behavior, harassing writers or other fans who disagree with their interpretations of the show. This has led to discussions within the community about fan entitlement and the responsibilities of creators in managing their audience's expectations. The full extent of the Szechuan sauce phenomenon reveals the complex interplay between media, fandom, and corporate response. McDonald's initial limited release was followed by a more substantial rollout in 2018, with the company producing 20 million packets of the sauce. This time, they were better prepared for the demand, avoiding the chaos of the previous attempt. The sauce even made its way into popular culture references beyond Rick and Morty, appearing in other TV shows and social media trends. The Szechuan sauce incident became a case study in viral marketing and the power of nostalgia. It demonstrated how a fictional narrative could create real-world demand for a product that had been forgotten for nearly 2 decades. Marketing professionals and business students now analyze this event as an example of the unpredictable nature of internet culture and its potential impact on consumer behavior. 13. Infinite timelines, one continuity. From viral sauce crazes to multiversal mayhem, Rick and Morty constantly pushes boundaries. But amidst the chaos of infinite realities, a hidden structure emerges. What if the show's apparent contradictions actually point to a deeper, more intricate continuity? At first glance, maintaining a coherent storyline in a series built on infinite possibilities, seems like an impossible task. How can viewers follow character arcs or remember important plot points when each episode could potentially take place in a completely different reality? This challenge becomes even more apparent when considering episodes that seem to directly contradict established rules or previous events. However, a closer examination reveals that Rick and Morty employs several clever techniques to maintain narrative consistency. One of the most crucial elements is the concept of the Central Finite Curve. This subset of realities acts as a narrative anchor, providing a framework within which most of the show's adventures take place. By limiting the scope of explored realities to those where certain conditions are met, the writers create a more manageable storytelling environment. The show also handles timeline jumps and alternate reality versions of characters with surprising care. While it's true that we often encounter different versions of familiar faces, the core personalities and relationships tend to remain consistent. This allows for character development to occur across episodes, even when the specific versions of characters may vary. For instance, we can track Morty's growth from a naive sidekick to a more assertive and morally complex individual, despite encountering various Mortys throughout the series. Callbacks and running gags play a crucial role in reinforcing continuity. These recurring elements, often spanning multiple seasons, create a sense of familiarity and cohesion for viewers. They serve as touchstones, reminding the audience that despite the ever-changing settings and scenarios, they're still watching the same overarching narrative. These callbacks can range from minor character quirks to major plot points that resurface in unexpected ways. Fan theories have become an integral part of the Rick and Morty viewing experience, with dedicated viewers scrutinizing every frame for clues and connections. These theories often attempt to explain apparent plot holes or inconsistencies, creating elaborate explanations that tie disparate elements together. While not all of these theories hold up to scrutiny, they demonstrate the depth of engagement the show inspires and highlight the intricate web of continuity that exists beneath the surface chaos. As we dig deeper into the show's narrative structure, a hidden continuity secret begins to emerge. The writers have masterfully woven a complex tapestry of interconnected stories and character arcs that span the entire series. This overarching plot, while not always apparent in individual episodes, becomes clearer when viewing the show as a whole. It's a testament to the careful planning and attention to detail that goes into crafting each season. But just how expansive is the multiverse explored in Rick and Morty? While it's difficult to pinpoint an exact number, some episodes stand out for their sheer multiversal scope. One episode in particular showcases an astounding array of alternate dimensions, each with its own unique twist on familiar characters and settings. This rapid-fire tour through the multiverse serves not only as a comedic set piece, but also as a reminder of the vast possibilities inherent in the show's premise. The complexity of Rick and Morty's continuity extends beyond mere plot points and character arcs. It encompasses philosophical questions about identity, free will, and the nature of reality itself. By presenting characters who regularly encounter alternate versions of themselves or inhabit new bodies, the show forces viewers to contemplate what truly defines an individual. Is Rick C-137 fundamentally different from other Ricks, or is he simply a product of slightly different circumstances? This approach to storytelling allows the writers to explore complex themes while maintaining a sense of narrative cohesion. Even as characters hop between dimensions or confront infinite versions of themselves, the core emotional truths and relationships remain constant. It's this balance between chaos and consistency that makes Rick and Morty's continuity so fascinating and rewarding for attentive viewers. 14. The Rickest Rick and the Mortiest, Morty. Defining the protagonists. In a multiverse teeming with infinite variations of Rick and Morty, two figures stand out as truly exceptional: Rick C-137 and his Morty. While countless versions of the duo populate the cosmos, this particular pair has carved out a unique place in the grand tapestry of realities. Their distinctiveness stems from a complex web of experiences, choices, and an unlikely bond that challenges the typical grandfather-grandson dynamic. Rick C-137, often referred to as the Rickest Rick, is a man shaped by tragedy and loss. Unlike many of his counterparts, this Rick's backstory is marked by a pivotal event that set him on a different path. The exact details of this tragedy remain shrouded in mystery, but its impact on Rick's worldview and actions is undeniable. This experience instilled in him a deep-seated cynicism and a tendency to push away those closest to him, traits that manifest in his often callous treatment of his family and his penchant for drowning his sorrows in alcohol. However, Rick C-137's unique experiences have also fostered a level of emotional depth and vulnerability rarely seen in other Ricks. While he often hides behind a facade of indifference, moments throughout the series reveal a man capable of profound love and self-sacrifice. His willingness to risk everything for his family, particularly Morty, sets him apart from the cold, calculating nature of many alternate Ricks. Morty too has undergone a transformation that distinguishes him from his multiversal counterparts. Initially timid and easily manipulated, this Morty has evolved into a more complex and assertive individual. His adventures with Rick have exposed him to the harsh realities of the multiverse, forcing him to confront difficult moral dilemmas and question his place in the grand scheme of things. Unlike many Mortys who remain perpetually naive or subservient to their Ricks, this Morty has developed a unique blend of empathy and pragmatism. He's learned to navigate the chaotic multiverse while maintaining his moral compass, often serving as a counterbalance to Rick's more extreme tendencies. This growth has led to a more equal partnership between the two, with Morty frequently challenging Rick's decisions and offering valuable insights. The relationship between Rick C-137 and his Morty is perhaps the most distinctive aspect of their pairing. Unlike the typically exploitative dynamic seen in other Rick-Morty duos, theirs is characterized by grudging mutual respect and a deep, if often unspoken, affection. Rick's choice to remain with this particular Morty, despite having access to infinite replacements, speaks volumes about the unique bond they share. Several theories attempt to explain why a Rick C-137 chose this specific Morty. One popular hypothesis suggests that this Morty's experiences and growth have made him uniquely suited to complement Rick's abilities and temperament. Another theory posits that Rick sees in this Morty a chance for redemption, an opportunity to forge a connection he may have lost in his original reality. The true nature of their relationship becomes clearer when examining Rick C-137's interactions with other Ricks in the Citadel. While most Ricks view their Mortys as disposable tools, Rick C-137 demonstrates a level of attachment and protectiveness that's considered aberrant among his peers. This deviation from the norm has made him both a pariah and a figure of fascination within the Citadel, earning him the title of Rickest Rick. Rick C-137's uniqueness is further evidenced by his complex history with the Citadel itself. Unlike other Ricks who embrace the interdimensional hub, Rick C-137 has consistently opposed its ideologies and power structures. His knowledge of the Citadel's inner workings and his ability to manipulate its systems suggest a long and complicated relationship with the institution, one that sets him apart from the average Rick. This distinctive Rick-Morty pair serves as a focal point for exploring deeper themes within the show. Their relationship challenges the notion that intelligence and emotional detachment must go hand in hand, as seen in most other Ricks. It also raises questions about the nature of family and connection in a multiverse where loved ones can be easily replaced. 15. Supporting cast in a chaotic universe. While Rick and Morty's complex relationship anchors the show, the multiverse they inhabit teems with equally intriguing characters. From loyal allies to enigmatic entities, these supporting players add depth and color to the series' chaotic universe. One of the most significant supporting characters is Bird Person, Rick's longtime friend and confidant. Hailing from the planet Bird World, Bird Person's stoic demeanor and deadpan delivery contrast sharply with Rick's manic energy. Their relationship offers glimpses into Rick's past, revealing a history of rebellion against the Galactic Federation. Bird Person's transformation into Phoenix Person, following his apparent death and subsequent cybernetic resurrection, adds a layer of tragedy to his arc, highlighting the lasting consequences of Rick's actions on those close to him. Mr. Poopy Butthole stands out as one of the most enigmatic figures in the Rick and Morty multiverse. Despite his comical name and appearance, this yellow pill-shaped creature has become a subject of intense speculation among fans. Mr. Poopy Butthole's ability to seamlessly integrate into the Smith family's memories, as seen in the episode Total Recall, raises questions about his true nature and origins. Some theories suggest he might be an interdimensional being with the power to manipulate reality, while others propose he's a representation of the audience itself. Jerry Smith, initially portrayed as an incompetent and insecure father figure, undergoes a fascinating evolution throughout the series. From his humble beginnings as a frequent target of Rick's disdain, Jerry gradually becomes more involved in interdimensional adventures. His experiences across various realities force him to confront his own limitations and hidden strengths. In one memorable episode, Jerry discovers an alternate version of himself who has become a successful actor, challenging his perceptions of his own potential. The show's rich tapestry of supporting characters extends far beyond the main cast, with numerous one-off characters leaving lasting impressions on both the narrative and the fandom. Take, for instance, Abradolf Linkler, a misguided genetic experiment combining the DNA of Abraham Lincoln and Adolf Hitler. This bizarre creation serves as a commentary on the unintended consequences of playing God with genetics, a recurring theme in Rick's scientific endeavors. Another notable supporting character is Unity, a hive mind entity capable of assimilating entire civilizations. Rick's tumultuous relationship with Unity provides insight into his capacity for love and self-destructive tendencies. Their interactions explore themes of individuality, free will, and the nature of consciousness itself. The MeCX, blue creatures summoned into existence to solve a single problem before vanishing, offer a unique perspective on purpose and fulfillment. Their single-minded devotion to completing tasks, no matter how trivial, serves as a stark contrast to the existential crises often faced by the main characters. Squanchy, a cat-like alien with a penchant for autoerotic asphyxiation, initially appears as comic relief. However, his transformation into a powerful warrior during dire circumstances reveals hidden depths to his character. Squanchy's loyalty to Rick and his willingness to sacrifice himself for his friends adds emotional weight to the series' more action-packed moments. Among the show's antagonists, Evil Morty stands out as a particularly compelling figure. First introduced as the Morty-elected president of the Citadel of Ricks, Evil Morty's true nature and motivations remain shrouded in mystery. His calculated efforts to break free from the Central Finite Curve raise profound questions about free will and the nature of evil in a multiverse of infinite possibilities. The Galactic Federation, a vast interplanetary government, serves as a recurring antagonistic force throughout the series. Its conflict with Rick and his allies explores themes of rebellion against authority and the corruption inherent in large bureaucracies. The Federation's eventual downfall, orchestrated by Rick, demonstrates the far-reaching consequences of his actions across the galaxy. Returning to Mr. Poopy Butthole, his true nature remains one of the show's most intriguing mysteries. Unlike other characters who have been revealed to be parasites or imposters, Mr. Poopy Butthole has consistently proven to be a genuine friend to the Smith family. His ability to break the fourth wall, directly addressing the audience at the end of episodes, suggests a level of awareness beyond that of other characters. This metatextual element adds another layer to the show's exploration of reality and fiction. 16. Evil Morty and the Nature of Villainy. While the multiverse teems with infinite possibilities, one version of Morty stands apart from all others. This alternate Morty, known simply as Evil Morty, has emerged as perhaps the most formidable and enigmatic antagonist in the series. His existence challenges our understanding of morality and identity. Within Rick and Morty's universe, Evil Morty first appeared in the episode Close Rick Counters of the Rick Kind, where he was revealed to be controlling a Rick through a hidden transmitter. This initial encounter set the stage for a character who would subvert expectations and push the boundaries of what we thought possible within the show's framework. Unlike the typically naive and good-natured Morty we know, evil Morty displays a level of cunning and ambition that rivals even the most capable Ricks. His ability to manipulate and outmaneuver those around him suggests an intelligence far beyond that of an average Morty. This raises intriguing questions about the nature of intelligence and personality in the multiverse. Are Mortys inherently predisposed to be less intelligent than Ricks, or is this simply a result of their circumstances and relationships with their respective Ricks? The mystery surrounding evil Morty's origins has been a source of intense speculation among fans. Some theories suggest that he may be the original Morty of Rick C-137, abandoned or corrupted by some traumatic event. Others propose that he could be the result of a Rick's experiment gone wrong, or perhaps a Morty who simply evolved differently due to unique circumstances in his reality. Evil Morty's most significant appearance came in the episode The Ricklantis Mix-Up, where he orchestrated a complex plan to become the president of the Citadel of Ricks. This plot demonstrated not only his intelligence, but also his patience and ability to play the long game. By manipulating the political system and exploiting the prejudices and weaknesses of both Ricks and Mortys, evil Morty achieved a position of unprecedented power. This ascension to power fundamentally altered the power dynamics of the show's universe. Traditionally, Ricks have been portrayed as the dominant force, with Mortys relegated to sidekick status. Evil Morty's rise challenges this hierarchy, suggesting that Mortys have the potential to be just as formidable as Ricks under the right circumstances. The implications of evil Morty's actions extend far beyond the Citadel. His ability to break free from the Central Finite Curve, a subset of realities where Rick is the smartest being, has potentially catastrophic consequences for the entire multiverse. This act not only demonstrates evil Morty's exceptional abilities, but also raises questions about the nature of the multiverse itself. What lies beyond the Central Finite Curve, and what does it mean for a Morty to access these unknown realms? One compelling theory about evil Morty's origins suggests that he may be the result of a Rick's attempt to create the perfect Morty. This theory posits that a Rick frustrated with the limitations of natural Mortys might have experimented with enhancing a Morty's intelligence and abilities. The result could have been a Morty with Rick-level intelligence, but without the emotional baggage and cynicism that typically accompanies it. Another intriguing possibility is that evil Morty represents a natural evolution of Morty's character. Throughout the series, we've seen our Morty grow more assertive and morally complex. Evil Morty could be seen as an extreme extension of this growth, a Morty who has fully embraced the harsh realities of the multiverse and decided to take control of his own destiny, regardless of the cost. The existence of evil Morty forces us to question the nature of good and evil in the show's universe. In a multiverse where infinite versions of characters exist, can any individual truly be classified as evil? Or are they simply acting according to their nature and circumstances? Evil Morty's actions, while often ruthless, could be seen as a logical response to a universe that often seems chaotic and uncaring. Furthermore, evil Morty's motivations remain largely unknown. While his actions have been destructive, it's possible that he believes he's working towards a greater good. Perhaps he sees the current structure of the multiverse, dominated by Ricks, as fundamentally flawed and in need of radical change. This ambiguity adds depth to his character and prevents him from becoming a one-dimensional villain. The impact of evil Morty on the show's narrative cannot be overstated. His presence adds a layer of complexity to the Rick-Morty dynamic, forcing us to reconsider our assumptions about these characters and their relationships. It also introduces a sense of genuine threat and consequence to a show that often revels in its ability to reset or ignore continuity. 17. The Writer's Room, Crafting Interdimensional Narratives. The writers of Rick and Morty face a unique challenge: crafting coherent narratives in a universe where literally anything is possible. This delicate balance of science, character, and pure imagination forms the foundation of the show's storytelling process. In the Rick and Morty writers' room, ideas flow as freely as interdimensional travel. The team begins by brainstorming scientific concepts, pop culture references, and character moments that could form the basis of an episode. From there, they construct a narrative framework that can support these elements while still maintaining the show's signature blend of humor and heart. One of the primary challenges the writers face is balancing the show's complex, sci-fi concepts with meaningful character development. While the infinite possibilities of the multiverse provide a fertile ground for imaginative storytelling, the writers must ensure that these high-concept adventures still resonate on a personal level with the characters and, by extension, the audience. To achieve this balance, the writers often start with a relatable emotional core or family conflict and then build the sci-fi elements around it. For example, an episode about Rick's fear of aging might involve a youth restoring device that goes haywire, or a story about Morty's insecurities could manifest as a journey through alternate realities where different versions of himself exist. The incorporation of scientific theories into Rick and Morty's storylines is a crucial aspect of the writing process. The writers conduct extensive research into cutting-edge scientific concepts, from quantum mechanics to artificial intelligence, and find creative ways to weave these ideas into the narrative fabric of the show. This approach not only adds depth to the storytelling, but also serves to spark curiosity about real-world scientific advancements among viewers. However, the writers are careful not to let the science overshadow the story. They strive to present complex concepts in accessible ways, often using humor or visual metaphors to make the ideas more digestible for a general audience. This delicate balance between scientific accuracy and entertainment value is a hallmark of Rick and Morty's writing style. In recent seasons, the addition of more diverse voices to the writers' room has had a significant impact on the show's storytelling. The inclusion of writers from different backgrounds and perspectives has broadened the range of stories that can be told and has added new dimensions to the characters' experiences and relationships. Improvisation plays a crucial role in shaping the final scripts for Rick and Morty. While the writers meticulously plan out each episode's structure and key plot points, they also leave room for spontaneity during the recording process. Justin Roiland, who voices both Rick and Morty, is known for his improvisational skills, and the writers often incorporate his off-the-cuff additions into the final product. This approach adds an element of freshness and unpredictability to the dialogue, contributing to the show's unique comedic voice. The writing team for Rick and Morty is also acutely aware of the show's passionate fanbase and the theories they generate. While the writers don't let fan theories dictate the direction of the show, they do pay attention to viewer reactions and discussions. This awareness allows them to play with audience expectations, sometimes confirming popular theories in unexpected ways or subverting them entirely for comedic effect. As the show has progressed, a significant change in the writing process has been the increased focus on long-term character arcs and continuity. While earlier seasons often relied on self-contained adventures, later seasons have seen the introduction of more complex, interconnected storylines that span multiple episodes or even seasons. This shift has allowed for deeper exploration of the characters' motivations and relationships, adding new layers of depth to the show's narrative. One of the most impactful changes in recent seasons has been the addition of more female writers to the team. This shift has led to a noticeable evolution in character development, particularly for the show's female characters. Beth and Summer, who were often relegated to secondary roles in earlier seasons, have become more fully realized and integral to the show's storylines. The female writers have brought new perspectives to these characters, exploring their motivations, desires, and complexities in ways that enrich the overall narrative. 18. Easter eggs and hidden depths. As we journey deeper into the multiverse of Rick and Morty, we uncover a hidden tapestry of details woven throughout the series. These Easter eggs and subtle references aren't just throwaway gags. They form an intricate web of connections that reward attentive viewers and enrich the show's expansive narrative. The creators of Rick and Morty have crafted a world teeming with background characters who, at first glance, might seem inconsequential. However, many of these seemingly minor figures have recurring appearances that hint at larger storylines, Take, for example, the yellow shirt-wearing Jerry that can be spotted in multiple dimensions. His consistent presence raises questions about his significance in the grand scheme of the multiverse. Alien languages and cryptic background text serve as another layer of hidden depth. Fans have deciphered these alien alphabets, revealing messages that range from humorous asides to potential foreshadowing of future plot points. In one episode, a string of alien text translated to "The Rick is a lie," sparking theories about the true nature of Rick's identity and his role in the multiverse. The show's creators have masterfully crafted connections between seemingly unrelated episodes, creating a sense of cohesion in the chaotic multiverse. Observant viewers have noticed objects from past adventures appearing in the background of Rick's garage, serving as subtle callbacks to previous escapades. These connections not only reward longtime fans, but also hint at the interconnected nature of Rick and Morty's adventures. Interestingly, some Easter eggs have been so well hidden that even the creators themselves were unaware of their existence until fans pointed them out. This level of detail speaks to the collaborative nature of the show's production, where animators and background artists contribute their own creative touches to the rich tapestry of the series. As we peel back the layers of hidden references and subtle nods, we begin to uncover clues that point towards Rick's true origins. Sharp-eyed viewers have noticed recurring symbols and imagery that appear in episodes dealing with Rick's past. These visual motifs, when pieced together, paint a picture of Rick's history that goes far beyond what has been explicitly stated in the show. One particularly intriguing theory centers around a specific pattern that appears in the background of scenes featuring Rick's most vulnerable moments. This pattern, reminiscent of a DNA helix, has led some fans to speculate that Rick's genius might be the result of genetic manipulation, or that he himself might be a clone. While these theories remain unconfirmed, they demonstrate the depth of thought that goes into every frame of the show. The creators have also cleverly used the show's multiverse concept to hide Easter eggs across different realities. In one episode, a blink and you'll miss it moment shows a newspaper headline from an alternate dimension that seems to reference events from Rick's mysterious past. This cross-dimensional storytelling adds another layer of complexity to the show's already rich narrative tapestry. Perhaps one of the most mind-bending hidden connections lies in the subtle hints about the nature of the Central Finite Curve itself. Throughout various episodes, background details and offhand comments have alluded to the existence of realities beyond this subset of the multiverse. These clues suggest that the Central Finite Curve might be a construct designed to contain or protect something or someone of great importance. As we unravel these hidden depths, we're left with more questions than answers. The intricate web of Easter eggs and hidden references in Rick and Morty doesn't just serve to entertain. It invites viewers to engage with the show on a deeper level, to question their assumptions, and to look beyond the surface of what's presented. 19. The future of Rick and Morty. Infinite possibilities. As we gaze into the crystal ball of Rick and Morty's future, we encounter a paradox that even Rick might struggle to solve. The multiverse may be infinite, but is the show's potential for fresh stories equally boundless? This question looms large as the series stands at a crossroads of narrative possibilities, with creators and fans alike pondering where the adventures of the dimension-hopping duo will lead next. The current state of Rick and Morty is one of both stability and uncertainty. With a long-term contract securing its place on Adult Swim, the show has the freedom to explore new territories without the immediate pressure of cancellation. However, this security also brings its own set of challenges. As the series progresses through its later seasons, the writers face the daunting task of maintaining the show's signature blend of sci-fi concepts, character development, and irreverent humor while avoiding repetition or stagnation. One of the primary challenges for the future of Rick and Morty lies in its very premise. The multiverse setting, while offering endless possibilities, also risks becoming a narrative crutch. The writers must find ways to surprise and engage audiences who have already witnessed countless alternate realities and mind-bending scenarios. This challenge is compounded by the show's own self-awareness and meta-commentary, which has set a high bar for subverting audience expectations. To address these challenges, the creators have hinted at several potential directions for future storylines. One avenue involves delving deeper into the characters' personal growth and relationships. As the show has progressed, we've seen glimpses of more complex character arcs, particularly for supporting characters like Summer and Beth. Future seasons may explore how these characters continue to evolve in response to their extraordinary circumstances, potentially leading to shifts in family dynamics or individual pursuits that reshape the show's core premise. Another potential direction lies in expanding the scope of the show's universe. While the multiverse has been a central concept, there are still unexplored aspects of Rick and Morty's reality that could offer fresh narrative ground. For instance, the implications of the Central Finite Curve and what lies beyond it remain largely unexplored. Future seasons might venture into these uncharted territories, potentially introducing new cosmic entities or forces that challenge even Rick's understanding of the universe. The long-term contract secured by Rick and Morty presents both opportunities and potential pitfalls for creative freedom. On one hand, the assurance of multiple seasons allows the writers to plan long-term story arcs and character development without fear of abrupt cancellation. This security can lead to more ambitious storytelling and riskier creative choices. However, there's also a risk that the pressure to produce content for an extended period could lead to creative burnout or a dilution of the show's quality. As Rick and Morty continues to evolve, it will likely reflect and comment on changing cultural landscapes. The show has always been known for its sharp social commentary, and future seasons may tackle emerging societal issues or technological advancements. This could include exploring the implications of artificial intelligence, the effects of climate change, or the ongoing evolution of social media and virtual reality. By addressing these topics through its unique lens, Rick and Morty can remain relevant and thought-provoking. Fan expectations and hopes for future seasons are as diverse as the multiverse itself. Some viewers are eager to see resolution to long-standing mysteries, such as the true nature of evil Morty or the full extent of Rick's backstory. Others are more interested in seeing new, standalone adventures that push the boundaries of the show's conceptual playground. Balancing these different desires while staying true to the show's core identity will be a key challenge for the creators. As for specific future storylines, the creators have been characteristically tight-lipped, preferring to keep fans guessing. However, they have dropped hints about exploring new dimensions of familiar characters, potentially including alternate versions of the Smith family that challenge our understanding of their core traits. There's also been suggestion of diving deeper into the cosmic horror elements that have occasionally appeared in the series, possibly introducing new existential threats that make even Rick question his place in the universe. 20. Conclusion. As we draw our journey through the multiverse to a close, it's clear that Rick and Morty has carved out a unique space in adult animation. By intertwining complex scientific concepts with philosophical musings and irreverent humor, the show challenges viewers to think critically about their place in the universe. Its ability to balance high-concept sci-fi with grounded character development has set a new standard for animated storytelling. With each rewatch, fans discover new layers of meaning and hidden details, testament to the show's depth and longevity. Rick and Morty invites us to embrace the absurdity of existence while never losing sight of the human connections that give life meaning.